You guys are a little off today. Is everybody tired?
You know what it was? It was your used car lot balloon guy arms before we hit it.
I was stretching my shoulders. I mean, it's on beat, guys. It's on the same. It's on the same beat every time.
Tiny. You didn't do your.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Moon.
It is Monday, August 5th. Oh. King Scott here, Lern here, Rafe here, Moon here. Riz is on vacation. This is his big August vacation. He's out.
Yeah.
Do not expect to hear much from Riz for many days.
He's going to be so tan when he returns. It's going to be fantastic.
I forgot where he went.
Cancun?
Was it?
Either Cozumel or Cancun.
Or Branson?
Or Branson.
I just know that he used the airport, and he likes to text me when he has a complaint at the airport because, you know, we can commiserate.
Sure.
And he instantly went, I cannot believe that we finally have an airport lounge, and it's closed on Saturdays. And in typical Riz fashion, it was, this is unreal, unacceptable, you know, that that kind of stuff. So he was starting vacation with a bang.
With a complaint, which is how the Rizzutos start their vacation, I would say.
It has to be. And so did he pay for the membership of that?
You don't need a membership. It comes with, I mean, I guess you do need a membership. It comes with, like, the credit cards that we have.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a perk. It's like, oh, you know, get this. You got to pay X amount of dollars a year to keep the membership, but it comes with a perk like airport lounges, unless you're at Lambert.
Yeah.
We started actually getting into a full discussion about how most airports are privately owned, you know, and they're like businesses, and they care about you coming back.
So most are privately owned?
Most are privately owned or owned by organizations.
Yeah.
And ours is owned and run by the city.
Gosh, dang it. Well, that sucks. But he's got the TSA pre-check now, so hopefully that went well. He was able to get in, you know, fast.
Yeah.
Get the whole family going.
The pre-check matters.
It does.
It does matter. What did you guys do this weekend? How's everybody's weekend?
It was great. My weekend was fantastic. Went hiking Saturday morning with my buddy Brian, and beautiful area, sandstone, something or other. It's like 20 minutes south of Eureka, and it's an empty, beautiful hiking trail out there, and spent a couple hours, brought one of the dogs, and she got to play in some water, and looked at rocks.
Cute.
How are you going to bring one of the dogs?
Yeah, you really checked the other dogs as you go at the door.
Well, the other dog had a leg, her back leg was hurting a week ago, so I didn't want to push it this time. Because she's the true athlete of both of them, so I didn't want her to.
One dog's going to come back and say, you know what, Dad?
I know.
Where we went, it was so special.
Different.
Dude, it smelled different. How come I don't have ticks? This isn't fair.
I know, it's not fair.
Yeah. But no, it was great.
You had a heck of a weekend.
Yeah, I went to go see Deadpool at the Alamo with Tim on Friday, and then Rafe and I had a remote at EPC on Saturday, which was awesome. Met an emotional support dog named Taco that was a bulldog.
Oh, yeah, we know Taco. Taco's a friend of the show.
Got to hold a wiener dog, so that was cool. And then went to, this was the best. So our friends, Leah and Justin, they were out of town, and they're like, hey, do you mind watching our pool, like going to clean out our pool while we're gone? And we're like, no problem. And so we went to their house without them being home on Saturday and cleaned out their pool, watered their plants, and then hung out at their pool, drank some beers, just acted like we were pool owners for like an afternoon. Pretty cool.
That is cool.
And
That's
then,
the best version of come over and swim anytime you want.
it's the best, you know, and they watched us from their cameras. Like they send us a security footage. They're like, you guys need to keep your clothes on. And I was like, dude, this is like too hot to handle, the Tim and Lern version. And then Sunday, just got a ton of stuff done, like did yard work and hung some new photos up around the house, made an art space in my basement, been wanting to like have an area where I can paint, have all my stuff down there. So I went down with the vacuum and sucked up all the spiders and the cobwebs. And
didn't that feel good?
It did feel good. It was a little scary. There was like a lot of spiders down there. And so got a little area for my creativity. So that was me.
Nice.
I did the basement thing too.
Heck of a weekend.
Look at us,
Moving our
basement
table
friends.
around.
Right on.
Yeah.
What's your letter grade for good old Deadpool?
I enjoyed it. I didn't see the second one. I don't think you need to. I liked it. The cameos are awesome. I'm going to give it an A. I mean, it was. If you want to see a Deadpool movie, you're going to love it. I'm not like a Deadpool. I don't get into it as much as like my nerdy comic book friends, but I loved it. And so for somebody like me who's on the outside of Marvel, even I got what was going on. It was cool.
Riz and I always say that the A's are reserved only for things that not only were great, but that you would and want to watch again.
No, I probably won't watch it again. So maybe I'll give it a B then, if it's under those stupid. I've never saw the first one again. I've only watched it once and it was good enough and move on.
Yeah. Is that how you were too? Like, great, but you don't need to see it again?
No, he did
I
see
saw
it
it
again.
twice.
Oh, you did?
I went back with Tina after I went.
For research?
Well, I wanted to go back and say, well, she wanted to see it, and I was like, well, I kind of went after work because I didn't want it. I thought spoilers would hit the internet immediately, so I went the day it came out, right after I got out of here at like noon. So I went with her the next day, and I enjoyed it more the second time. I think once you realize, I said this on the air, I think, but I was like, I think once you realize it's just a fun movie, it's not going to have a huge impact on the MCU. Like, once you know what it is, like, once I went in there, I was like, oh, my God, what's this going to be? The hype. Once I saw it and I could set the hype aside and just go see it again and enjoy it, I liked it better the second time.
Huh. Cool. And you gave it an A as well?
Yeah, I gave it a B+, A- first viewing, flat A on the second.
Anything this weekend? What'd you do?
Well, we did the blood drive, or excuse me, we did the EPC. That's my next event.
Yeah, we took people's blood at EPC.
Yeah, it was
bleeding?
EPC, but guess what? I got a whole bunch of blood, dude, because I go the extra mile.
Nice. Bleeding all over the
When I
electronics?
do a remote, I get mine.
Yeah, you
I get
do.
some AB pause in case I need it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, we saw 3 wieners
We did.
at our EPC remote.
They were adorable.
They were. They actually weren't aggressive at all. And 3 wieners and a taco. It was pretty nice.
What? Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about that, what an experience we
Wow.
had. A little perverted dogs came
Yeah.
to our EPC remote.
Free hot dogs, had like 15 of those. They were free, dude. I got all loaded up. I Kobayashi'd while I was out there. It was fun. A lot of people came out. It was a cool event. That's a cool place.
Yeah,
It's a lot
EBC 's
bigger
awesome.
than I thought it was going to be like a Radio Shack. I'm not going to lie. I'd never been, and I'm like, okay, we're going to be in a little strip mall store. And I was like, oh, I was way off. This is an old Target. This place has got its own LED sign outside on the road. Billboard. It's huge. It's a cool spot. Good place to get stuff for your kids for back to school.
For sure. And they're great people.
Yep.
Yeah, Joe's so sweet. He walked me around and showed me where they dispose of the lithium batteries.
Isn't
and
that
was
wild?
Interesting.
Yeah, that little river behind there.
Yeah, there's a little river back there. Just like The Simpsons.
The one that says St. Louis Water Supply.
That's right.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's really neat.
He let me throw a car battery in there.
It's
We had
fun
our
to
own
watch
Olympics.
it bubble up and sizzle and everything you do.
Yeah.
No, of course not. We love
Of course
EBC.
not EPC rules.
No, they're green as hell.
Yeah, have you ever seen their? You drive past it way out there on 70. Their big recycling center. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then I went after, and I picked up some heavy smoke. Because I'm never out that way.
Oh, not fair.
Bro, got into it, going into the restaurant with the guys. Some giant guy coming out in a Bills cap. And the server, this girl was probably in high school, was like running to-go orders out to people's cars. And I hate when people do this. I was walking in, this guy was walking out, and he goes, don't do it.
What?
It's horrible.
Oh.
It's terrible. Don't go in there. And I go, shut up. And he goes, what? And I go, you're just mad because you can't beat the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl. And he goes, F you. I don't know why. I just got mad that he said it in front of that girl. And I'm just like, I don't know why I just chose to be an antagonist this day. And I was like,
Wow.
I love the way you went with it.
Yeah.
That's great.
yeah, it was funny. And she goes, you just tell him to shut up? And I go, yeah. And I go, don't do as I do.
Don't do as I
do
do.
as I say. Do as I encourage you. So I go, what's that guy's deal? Was he just mad that he didn't get food in 5 seconds when he was in there? She's like, I don't know. He was mad about something when he came in. And it was awesome, of course. Because I'm familiar with the place.
Oh
I'm
my
like, I know
gosh.
damn well it's good.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're wrong.
Lots of people that came to EPC were like going to Heavy Smoke afterwards. They're like, I'm going to get the
So
King
awesome.
Scott sandwich. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
You boo.
That King Scott sandwich is absurd. All this stuff is
Man.
great. And like
Thank you, Chris.
Champion. I mean, the wall, the stuff that Chris has won, that's just on the wall is like 100th of all the things that he wins.
Bro, I got the King Scott.
Ooh.
I got the third. I don't even know what this thing was, man. But I got the pork steak, and it was like 32. It was like 3 inches thick. Smoked. You could cut it with a fork.
It's crazy.
Primo stuff, buddy. And then the Cuban wrap. I just said I recommend like 4 things. I'm going to take them home.
How
And
many
then-
people did you have with you?
Love that.
Well, I just put it in the fridge. We didn't even eat it till yesterday.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Tina
say-
and I kind of like there's still a bunch in the fridge, but
Smart.
So your place for lunch.
yeah, if you wanted, there's plenty. Man, it was not. I mean, we both ate on it last night and could eat 2 more meals.
Man, that's so awesome.
was
I need to
good.
go out there. I haven't been out there in a couple
It was good.
months. I don't know why.
It lives up to the hype, and I'm never out there. It doesn't, it's not, that's a
Yeah.
long way from me. So I
Yeah.
was happy to go out and patronize that place. And then I spent the weekend at the Funny Bone trying to dial in this 10-minute set that I have to go record in LA in a couple weeks.
Nice.
So thanks to Johnny Beaner for letting me hop on his shows all weekend at Westport. That was cool.
Was the reception from people what you hoped with this 10-minute set?
You never know. It went well. I think it went well. It went better 3 of the shows than one of them. Friday Night Late Show is always a crapshoot. A lot of drunk people, a lot of chatter going on at the club, but that's part of comedy. But yeah, I think it's going well. I just want to get used to saying it out loud and in the order. Just stay, I think I got it where I want it.
Good.
That's
That
awesome.
seems like the fun part of that branch of entertainment. That music, you can do, and so, blues bands and different people that are kind of jam bands. You go out there and you try new material, or you're kind of practicing in front of people or something. But there's nothing like that in rock and roll where you're like,
Let's play this riff.
we got about a quarter of a song. Let's perform it and see what the reactions are and take it from there. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's such a wild concept. Imagine going out there and going, I got this riff. I want to see if you guys jump.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is really
handy.
the only art form, and I've said this, to people starting out when they worry about bombing, because I'm like, you got to bomb.
Yeah, that's what you're looking for. At some point,
Because-
if you're comfortable.
It's the only art form where the public is your editor, and they edit you in real time. They tell you in real time if it's working or not.
Yeah, that's got to
See,
be awesome.
I took that to heart the few times I've done it, and I didn't know you're actually not supposed to bomb every time.
Yeah.
I just set my goal for that.
Yeah, and buddy,
And I crushed it.
absolutely.
Not a peep from the crowd except for
yeah,
booze.
nothing. Nothing.
It's
in
awesome,
fact,
man.
it went below quiet. It went the other way, like you lost decibels.
It's like, wait, you're opening. You're not supposed to make people
Yeah.
leave. They need to stay for the
It
headliner.
was like watching The Quiet Place 3.
Yeah, they put things in their ears. I don't even know where they got those things. Yeah, that's very cool, man. That's fun that you got to do that. When's this LA thing happening?
August 23rd, so it's right around the corner. The last thing I wanted was to go out there kind of cold and be like, well, I haven't gone up in much in the last couple weeks, So it's good. I appreciate the clubs in town having my back and letting me pop on and get it
That's
dialed in.
huge.
Yeah.
Do they still do shows at Six Flags? Remember they used to do concerts and
Oh, yeah.
and comedy shows and
I
stuff?
haven't heard about that in a while, and that would be so cool if they brought that back. But I don't know if there's a space for it. I feel like they broke that stage down, and then they built a ride there.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because it's top of mind. Friday, right after the show,
Yeah.
I bolted out of here because we needed 2 vehicles to take the youngest boy. He wanted his birthday party to be a whole bunch of friends. 6 friends, 6 other boys, and then the rest of our kids. So it took us 2 vehicles, and we spent the whole day on Friday down at Six Flags.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
And it had been a long, long, long time since I had been to Six Flags. And man, I love it. I love theme parks. I love the adventure, but when I was walking in, I was telling myself, I'm here to just be a camp counselor, a camp director, and make sure I'm head counting all these children that are running all over the place. And I'm too old for the rides. I don't really need to do that. But I get there, and the
You're
adrenaline.
the Danny Glover of Six Flags.
Yeah, then the adrenaline junkie takes over as soon as I see a ride I've never done before. I'm like, oh, I have to do that. I got to do this. And then these kids, 2 of them had never been on a roller coaster before.
That's the best.
It was, but at the same time, they were like, I don't think so. And I didn't want to be like,
Pushing them.
well, I didn't want to be the dad that parents hear, wait, you got pressured into doing something you didn't want to do?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, hey, man, I think you're really going to like it.
I know.
It's really fun. It makes you feel like this, and you're flying and your legs are dangling, and, I'm trying to, hype it up, but not too much. And I'm like, but if you don't want to do it, don't do it, man. It's no big deal.
Right.
So, I'm playing that game, and then I'm all excited. So they, see this 43-year-old guy just like, woo! I remember when I used to stuff my shoes to be able to ride the Ninja when it first came out, And, man, Six Flags has changed. I got to say.
What do you mean? Give me your honest
added
critique.
flag.
Because I was there a month ago, too, and I'm probably going to agree with you on a lot of what you have to say.
It just seemed so half-assed.
Aw.
Now,
Get Disney out of your brain, though.
okay, I was just going to say. Now, to be fair, I went to Disney World for the first time ever this year.
Yeah.
And Silver Dollar City is awesome.
Right.
I've been there a couple times these last couple years.
Yeah.
My mother hates Six Flags because she loves Holiday World because she thinks the park is better, it's cleaner, and the employees are,
Free
are like
sunscreen.
happy.
Yeah.
And dude, I will say, I mean, there's teenagers running the rides and all that kind of stuff, but nobody seems happy to be out there.
Whoa.
And Silver Dollar City is, I mean, it's literally built to look Hoosier,
yeah.
Yeah.
but it's as clean and happy as possible.
Well,
it's like anti-Hoosier.
It's pretty cool because since it's down in Branson, that's one of those places where if you're an employee, they have apartment buildings for their employees
Is
to live
that
at.
what it is?
They make it like a whole,
Like a
their
village.
employees are actually like, they do a good job of treating them well down there.
It shows because
Yeah.
even my kids made the point. They're like, there was a couple really funny guys that were kind of like running the rides and saying funny things, but for the most part, everybody seemed miserable.
Yes. Well, these are high school students that are
Not
having
all
their
of
first jobs.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like, there's got to be some sort of standard where you're like, hey, I hate to be Chick-fil-A here, but like, my pleasure, the audience that's spending $50 a ticket to get in here.
Right.
Let's be a little happier.
It seems like that would be such a fun job for a teenager because you're going to,
I would think
especially,
so.
if you're trying to find a girl or something like that, like it's so easy. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to win her over today.
Now, obviously, I'm not talking about everybody. So
Yeah.
if you're an employee and you're like, I'm happy all the time, well, then I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the general feel was very kind of.
How was Bugs? Was he depressed? Or?
That's the other thing. No characters walking around.
Yeah, there's
What's the cuss?
There's no more characters. There's no what do you call those things when they like take the picture and you go get it? It's like a
You mean on the ride?
the ride photos.
Yeah, the ride photos. They do
Gone.
that for
It's
the
an app,
boss.
right?
No, it's gone.
I was there and we got off of one ride and I did see my photo. You know what it was? It was the water one, the log flume.
Oh, well, we didn't
They
do
do
that.
still do that for that ride.
Well, the log flume, like I guess they took out some of the woods back there, so it doesn't look as big or cool. Because remember, it used to kind of sneak back there, and then you could go down the thing, and now it just doesn't look all that impressive. But man, nothing else. Like no boss picture, no. There's no pictures anywhere, so they don't even care to let you remember that you've been here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Weird. So they don't have an app because a lot of the places now still take the photos, but you go to the app and you can.
I
look.
know.
They do have an app, but
That you
I
can
don't
get
know
your
if that's a
pics.
feature. That would be a great feature on the app. I didn't notice
Huh.
that.
I never
Lern, is
even-
that how
I
you
think
felt? Same way he
Disney
did?
has that.
I noticed the thing about the photos. The log flume was the only photo that I saw. I miss the characters. I mean, it's such a sweltering hot job to be in those things. So maybe on hot days they get them out and they're like, absolutely not. But yeah, I noticed that nobody gives a crap that you're there. But also you got that Disney dementia where you go to Disney,
You're
it
right.
kind of wipes your brain clean
You're
of
right.
like, this
You're
is
right.
the standard, and Six Flags is just a different breed of animal.
You're
know?
right. I got Men in Blacked for sure.
You
I got
did.
I got the little boop boop boop, the memory eraser thing, and all I'm thinking about is Disney is the standard. But
Well-
I will say this. Oh, go ahead.
Hearing you guys describe it, it does not sound like the Six Flags I remember.
Well, okay, and that's what I wanted to say. Like,
I'm
though-
comparing it to like the Six Flags of my youth, where Bugs Bunny and the Baker Bus, and there's like a golf cart with like a boom box.
Right.
Yeah,
And it was
why?
still a knockoff of Disney. Don't get me wrong. It was like Foghorn Leghorn dancing to a boombox behind a golf cart. It wasn't exactly grade A entertainment, but they were trying.
Yeah, there was stuff going on.
You'd see Bugs Bunny walking around.
I guess that's what I mean. My last critique is there's just nothing going on. There's just rides.
Right.
You just go up to a ride and you ride it and you try to find the next ride. And before
No Wild West photo.
there was none of that stuff. There hardly any of the shops were open.
It's not
You can't make a music video anymore.
Where the theater used to be, they used to put
More like
shows
Four
on.
Flags. Am I right? Come on.
Yeah.
For real.
They used to put shows on all the time over there, like concerts and stuff. And then
Yeah,
in between
variety
that,
shows.
there was a variety show. Like I knew a couple of the actors that worked at that thing, and it was fun. You know, it was kind of Silver Dollar City-y.
It was like the
fun.
soul.
Remember, they had the Chevy show back in the day. There was like different things to do, and all of that was gone. So it was just rides. That ends my critique. I still had a ton of fun. The weather was great. It was only
Yeah,
like
it was beautiful.
86, 87. It wasn't hot. It was breezy. The lines, I refused to pay for the fast lane, and
yeah.
all the kids were like, "This is going to be a nightmare. We don't have the fast lane. You won't pay for that." I actually put it in the cart just to see what it would be. An extra $1,000.
Yeah, dude.
You didn't do that for
So
your
we
kids?
said no.
To do what?
To do the
To do
fast
the
pass.
fast lane for our group.
But you got there early enough. Did you get there right as parking and everything opened?
Yeah, I guess I got
Like
I guess
11 o'clock,
not too long.
11:30?
Yeah, 11:30.
That's the move because you get in and out so fast. And then after noon, like 12:30, that's when everybody starts coming to the park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, parking was totally fine. So yeah, again, I'm done with the critiques. Parking was fine. Getting into the park, super easy. Everything was easy, and the rides were great. I really did have a good time.
Okay.
But dude, I don't know if it's my age or if they have stopped caring about checking on these rides. The Screaming Eagle and the Boss hurt.
Yeah.
Dude, the Boss was
The Boss
it was
put me
so
in the
fast.
hospital,
Dude, when I was in the front, I swear I bruised a rib and may have had a mild concussion. I mean, it was faster than I ever remember it being, and was kind of like, holy crud, this hurt. Physically hurt.
I rode the Boss with my ex-girlfriend's son, Caden, who I'm still very close with, and we went to Six Flags. And, you know, when you're riding something like that with, like, a kid who looks up to you, I was having to, like, bite my lip because I was just like, he was on the outside. I was like on the inside, so I was pulling all the G's on my left hip on the Boss. I know you know what I'm talking about. You
I
just
know
rode
exactly
it.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
And it was just digging in, dude. And I was just like, I'm going to have hip replacement surgery. And I just remember him looking at me like, and it's like you start pulling those, he starts pushing you over to the side. I'm like, dude, if he would have sat on the other side of me, I would have crushed that kid to death.
Yeah.
He would have, it's over. I had to take it back to his mom in pieces. I was like, thank God I sat on this side. Because it was just the side to the outside of the track, you know, where like when you go around take that hard curve, those old wooden and it rattles and shakes, man. It's like,
It's awesome.
it's great, but man, you can't enjoy it because you're literally just trying not to cry.
Yeah.
It was amazing though. What kind of rider are you? Because now I realized because I was usually sitting with my son, and then all the other boys were around us, and I go into this hysterical laughing phase. When we're flying, I'm
That's
laughing.
unsettling.
I'm screaming and laughing, and in like I probably sound like the Joker. I don't know. But I didn't realize it until my son was reacting.
Or Michael Jackson. You think it sounds like the Joker, and they play it back and you're like, you're ignorant. You're ignorant. Yeah, you don't sound like the Joker, dude.
Breathe.
I'm a screamer. I will, the minute I get all like as you're going up, and then once it hits, I mean, I have to let it out. And so, and I, at first,
that tracks.
I hold on for dear life, and then I had my best friend's son Harrison with me on the Screaming Eagle and the Boss. And I was like, all right, I got to be, same thing Rafe's talking about, where I have to be brave. I go, okay, are we putting our arms up? And I had to do it, you know, 'cause I'm trying to be cool in front of this kid, make sure he knows, like, hey, man, chicks aren't square. And, like, you know, and so he's doing it. Like, we both have our arms up, and I am just screaming bloody murder like a psychopath. It's great.
Dude, I used to be a silent smiler, and now I'm this.
It's way more fun to yell because also whenever you yell, it doesn't
Screaming and
hit your
laughing.
stomach the same way. Have you noticed that it's easier on your stomach?
Oh, yeah.
If you actually put your hands up and you yell, you're like, oh, that didn't feel as like if you're sitting there tense, it's way more impactful.
Weighing on your body, you're like, like as you're going all around.
But I
those
have some
curves.
good news.
What's that?
Six Flags bought out Cedar Fair, and they own Knott's Berry and Cedar Point,
So what's that mean? They're just gonna
and a ton of other parks. But
turn those into Six Flags?
I don't know.
How's
They're
that gonna help
probably
us?
New management?
We only care about us.
well, Cedar Point. That's
What's Cedar Point? Is that Ohio?
yeah, that's like the big dog, isn't it? Like the best of the best.
I don't know.
With the roller coasters, it has all the big.
I
ones.
just know that it gave me the vibe of, okay, this is a park that they put a ton of energy into in the 80s and the 90s, and no energy since.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, dude, because I think if they really like cleaned it up, they would crush even more. But maybe they don't need to crush. Maybe it's just a business thing. And,
Maybe they'll do it. You know, they have to have a renaissance of some kind, and
Yeah.
I think other theme parks are really, you know, one-upping them, and
Yeah.
they're going to feel that pressure, and
for sure.
hopefully they do.
Well, they built a new one since I've been there called Boomerang. That one was great. I know this isn't a Six Flags review show, but the Superman is gone. That thing that went up straight up and down.
Yeah.
And I think that's because of accidents and things from other parks.
Yeah, it landed over on the hillside, not too far.
Nothing from ours, but like from other parks. And then they got that Joker that hasn't opened yet.
Right.
That took the place of the Dragon Wings.
Of the
thing.
Dragon Wing, yeah.
And my son was like, I'm finally old enough. I'm going to ride Dragon's Wings.
Ah,
And nah, not there anymore.
I have that
All right,
disappointment in my
Buckaroo.
heart as well. I never got to do that, and it always looked really fun.
It is fun. That was really scary and really fun. But one thing that we didn't do that only one kid asked if we would do was the Hurricane Harbor. When's the last time you've been there?
Oh, dude, when it opened,
I've
I
always
haven't been
wanted
in
to.
a
I've never
long
been.
time.
Well, ever since Holiday, Holiday World has the Splash and Safari or something like that, which has most of like the water coasters, and that's what my mother's addicted to because she's in her 80s and she can't be doing the Screaming Eagle anymore, so she does the water coasters because you're on an inflatable of some sort, and she says the Hurricane Harbor is just like half as cool. I just remember all the Band-Aids, like you like to say, and the wave pool just being filled with every person in the area. It's the most packed wave pool I've ever been in my entire life.
For some reason, you saying Band-Aids made me go almost famous and think that there were groupies in the wave pool with you, and I was like, tight.
Yeah, Kate Hudson was in the wave pool, dude.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
And then I realized you meant real Band-Aids.
Well, I found this because we were thinking about it, because I saw a lot of people on some of the rides that we were on with swimming suits on. So clearly they were doing the full day. They were going to go to, what's it called again? Hurricane Harbor afterwards. And there are a lot of calls all across the internet for G-string bikinis to be banned. After thousands and thousands of people have weighed in on the controversial swimwear item, declaring that the garment is offensive and too revealing for public places like water parks. Skimpy bikinis, which put the wearer's bottom on full display, have copped a barrage of criticism since it became, pretty much the trend in recent years. In fact, some hate bikini bottoms so much that they've called on local authorities to ban G-string bikinis on beaches, a move that many describe as policing women's bodies. And now the topic has been ignited once again after a post on a popular Australian Facebook group asked, should G-string bikinis be banned in water parks? The question was posed alongside an image of a woman wearing a pink micro bikini while taking a photo of her boyfriend in front of an orange slide, so at like a, typical water park, and it asked people to give the photo a thumbs up to vote yes on a ban, while those were happy for water park goers to rock a G-string could click on the laughing face emoji to vote for no. And I got a feeling a lot of 15-year-old boys
are like, what are you doing?
We're like, no, everything is fine.
Everything's great. Yeah, if you're a butt person and you like good tush, the time is now. Like I said, I've been watching Too Hot to Handle, and every one of those young ladies' butts are just so gorgeous.
Too hot to handle?
Too hot to handle. And I was thinking about it last night as we watched it, because we're trying to finish season 5 or whatever. And I'm looking up some of these people that are on this show because they're all so damn gorgeous. And it's all about the butt. And I have vacation coming up this week with Tim's family. And the thought crossed my mind, like, I don't have a G-string bikini. In fact, I wear bikinis that I want to cover my full ass because ain't nobody got time for that. And I was thinking, what would it be like to be on a family vacation with that sort of trend bikini? And I'm, some people are rocking it though, and and I'm kind of jealous because my whole life for 39 years, my ass has not seen the light of day in a bikini. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always been full tush coverage.
What do you feel about public?
Well, I kind of like, I would like to have like toasted buns, And so I don't know.
Maybe it's time to let it out.
Maybe it's time. Yeah. Is it time?
Maybe it's time to
At
release.
the family vacation.
Yes, I think family vacation is time to release the ass.
Yes, this is
release
Do I need to stop by Target on my way?
This is your doing 10 minutes, to see how the reactions
Can
go.
I report back on Monday, like how it went?
Yeah, let us know how it goes, and then if it's a thumbs up, then if it's a laughing emoji and it's a no, you shouldn't be banned, then wear that to Hurricane Harbor next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Innsbruck, release the Kraken. That is the new theme.
Am I releasing said tush at Innsbruck this weekend with my husband's
Sounds
family?
like it. Sounds like you are.
I think so.
Sounds like the
neat.
debut.
I will report back next week.
The debut of that caboose
They said that was Australia?
is this week.
This news came from Australia.
Well, the news is everywhere, but this particular poll was done in Australia. Whoa. They had almost 20,000. Where do you think they landed?
Well, they wear their G-strings in the front.
They
in
say it's
Australia.
Laugh emoji. People are down with it.
It's pretty split, but more people wanted it banned. Quotes said, what kids have to see at the beach and theme parks at such young ages, it's just ridiculous these days. The next one said, I'm female and I find it uncomfortable to see, to be honest. Next one said it was offensive and disgusting, extremely inappropriate around little children. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it.
Well, if you moon somebody and you can get on a list for indecent exposure.
Which I disagree with.
Right. We are pro-moon, Rafe and I, on the show.
Thank you.
Are you as well? I mean,
You
are
have to be.
because you are Moon.
Legally, you
Listen,
have to be
Yeah,
pro-Moon.
I grew up in the 80s where every movie convinced me that that's just what people do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
And it's funny.
So to me, I feel like I've been not indoctrinated, but like I feel like it was told to me
Right.
that a butt's just a butt.
My mom used to
That's
let me
a
moon
lot.
truckers as a child. Like
See?
she'd be in her, her Firebird with her T-tops, and some
Wow.
trucker would piss her off, and she'd go, "Lauren, moon that guy." And I'd pull my pants down and moon
But
on
see,
the side of the bucket seat,
That's
dude.
awesome.
But I'm also a dude that was raised just with a brother. So
Lauren Moon, that guy.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Podcast title.
butts are funny to boys.
Yeah,
And I'm
And
not
to
a woman.
girls.
I don't. Okay, so I'm saying like I don't feel like I can weigh in if somebody says that mooning is super offensive. I'll give you a little runway because I don't know. To me, I was raised to think that butts are funny.
Right. Everybody's got a butt, dude.
Butts
All
are funny,
butts created
dude.
equal.
Here's the proof, and I've brought this up before. They're so funny that everyone used to have a little fake guy in the back of their dashboard where you could squeeze an air bulb and his little
Right.
pants would fall down. He looked like Ziggy. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And his little pants would fall down and he'd moon you. And it was like the Garfield sticking on. It was like the Garfield stuck on the back of the windshield and the little mooning guy. People would have it in their car. Like if it makes it to that level where they make little cute figurines mooning you, come on,
Yeah.
that's not.
Well, and
indecent.
like think about the suntan lotion where the dog is pulling down the diaper of the little baby, and you see the
Oh,
little
right,
baby
right,
butt,
right.
and everybody's like, "That's so cute." So to me, I feel like butts are created equal. We all have one. It's not offensive. I mean, I think it's offensive if you show somebody your junk.
Yo,
yes.
butts are not
Yeah.
created equal.
No, they're not because mine
What?
has a
Your
crack
mind-
in it.
Yeah.
Even flat ass, cellulite,
I thought we were going to get through
hairy
that
ass.
segment without that.
What do you mean?
No, but I was
Somebody
wondering,
saying that there's had a crack in it.
is this
Couldn't
survey?
resist.
Is this survey done at Walmart? I want to know what.
This
what
was done on Facebook, I think.
What do the plumbers think? Are they
I-
pro?
I'm on your side.
Yeah,
I think
plumbers.
all asses
That's the
are
whole industry.
good asses, whether they're flat, bulbous,
Hairy, tan,
hairy, tan,
pimply.
pockmarked, whatever.
Whatever.
Still funny.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
funny.
All funny. The key is you can't go. You gotta just. It's got to be a little peak.
Right.
You can't go. You take your pants down too far to where
You
now
get ball
we've-
shadow.
now-
Nobody's got time for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
Nobody's
shadow.
got. Yeah, you can't have something where now there's a co-star.
Riz likes to say back burger.
Yeah.
Guys, perfect example. Just a real quick story. My best friends and I, back in high school, college, SWIC days, we would go on float trips, to Huzzah, like day trip. And my friend Scott got hammered drunk this one time on the river. I was driving. I was sober. We're in the parking lot. Families are packing up. It's Sunday afternoon. Families are getting loaded. So we create a towel wall changing station for my buddy so he can drunkenly take his trunks off and put his stuff. And he, so for the first time I saw his ass. And then I saw too much because the backside, there was ball shadow. And I was offended. I was like, oh my God. Like I didn't want to see it. So, I mean, yeah, it can go too far to a certain point, but he was changing. It was fine. I love him.
That's
to
not a
death.
moon.
That's not a moon. That
That
was
is a
just
disrobing.
This was utilitarian ass.
That's a back ball.
It's a moon
know?
with its tongue hanging out.
But I think if you do, can I just say, Rafe Williams at Rizzuto Show Live back in March, I didn't know that this man had mooned the crowd, and you gave them a little, and somebody sent a photo to the group chat.
It's hilarious.
It was the perfect
Yeah,
amount
pro.
of booty.
Thank you.
From this
You
man.
go just to the first crease.
That's right.
The top crease. You
Show
don't-
a little muffin.
You go past. If you take the elastic past that first crease, then
You're
you're
in trouble.
endangering. Yeah,
You're just
I mean,
showing off then.
You're in trouble. And there's a time frame. It's an art.
the timer starts.
Yeah, you can't just let it hang out there forever.
Oh, no.
It's got to be just a little beep boop, boop, boop. Surprise, gotcha. It's like the little game where you make them look at the circle on your thigh.
I got that. Punch him in the face.
Just got to do it real quick. Can't let it hang down there forever.
So, what do you feel about thongs? I'm talking like skimpy thongs at Hurricane Harbor,
I mean, it is.
a place that's designed for
kids.
kids and families. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll go a little prudent on this. Maybe that's not the place for it.
Because that's kind of like it's almost like an outfit, like the beach. If you go to Miami, that's like the nightclub beach.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Every beach
But
in
at that
Brazil.
place,
Like
it's
the
like-
Ozarks, I'm down, or
Yeah, if you're kind of in your own little world, and
maybe these family spaces, just think it over. Think it before you do it.
What about a Speedo for a feller?
I think a Speedo's all right.
if they're
Never a
severely
fan.
obese, it's perfect.
I like it's a European thing. They all wear Speedos over there like trunks, right? That's no
Yeah,
big
they
deal.
look comfortable. I have to admit, they look really comfortable.
Not
I
to
played
me.
a couple shows in one for fun,
That's great.
and it's fun. To be honest, I've been in one just enough to get used to it. And Riz will probably say the same because of his
That's what he
Speedo
wears.
for his first pitch, and he's found use for that a dozen times more than we thought that.
And you know he's wearing one right now on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He might be. He might
He
be.
might be doing a G-string one.
Do you guys think you're weird? My wife and I we get in this conversation all the time.
Please, yes. Look at all of us.
No.
This show is
totally cool.
This show is super weird,
Like
right?
your inner monologue got out there for a second.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I know that I'm a very strange person.
However, can I just say this? On Friday, I posted my Kit Kat eating video, and I was so taken aback by how many people came forward and say that they ate a Kit Kat the exact same way
Yeah.
as me.
Really?
I did too.
And I was like and a lot of people called me a weirdo and a psycho serial killer, including our beloved Liv, who eats a Reese's Pieces thing, or Reese's peanut butter cups like a psycho. So she and I are going on a murderous woman rampage. But no, I felt very community that people ate their Kit Kats the same way as I. So thanks for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
cool.
didn't think it was that. The way you described it sounded weirder than watching it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
The way you described it, it did sound like you were from another planet.
Oh.
But
well,
then when you did it, I was like, oh, yeah, I do that.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were literally sucking all the chocolate off the wafer until it was a bare wafer
Me
left.
too.
Oh,
and I was
no.
like,
The way you
"Ooh,
described it,
do
and
that."
I go, yeah, I
I
don't
sucked the
do
top
that.
of the sucked the top chocolate
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you teeth the rest of it.
Then I
Yeah.
teeth the
Yeah,
rest.
I'm with you.
That's what
Yeah.
she said.
It's kind
Yes.
of like a little corner of the cob.
There's actually a poll going around asking Americans, how weird are you? And it turns out a lot of people do think that they're pretty weird. 48% of people said that they are weird, including 13 who said they are very weird. 43% said that they're not very weird or not weird at all, and 9% aren't sure. How can you
I'm
not
not
be sure?
sure.
Funny enough, it looks like as far as they were polling in like political things too, and Democrats were more likely than Republicans to admit they're weird, 50% versus 38%. Independents think they're the weirdest at 52%. As far as generation goes, the weirdest generation is millennials. 59% of them think that they're weird. Gen Z is next at 56%, then Gen X at 44%, and only 31% of boomers think they're weird. I think that all tracks pretty well. You know what's funny is my son is Gen Z. What's Gen Z? Gen Z is up until like 2010.
I think so, like 98 to 2008.
Yeah, something like that. So Gen Z, and then the one after that is Gen Alpha, right?
I think so.
So my stepson, who just had the birthday, is Gen Alpha, and my son, who's only a few years older than him, was actually saying like, "Oh, dude, Gen Alpha is the weirdest." He's like, "They're far weirder than Gen Z. They've got all this slang that doesn't make any sense." He's like, "My slang, my generation slang, like." I can hear it and like track back to probably what it means. And he's like, Gen Alpha, they're literally just throwing things on the wall. They don't care. They're the weirdest people ever.
Love it.
And I was like, I think that's what every generation thinks, man. He goes,
is.
no. He's like, I understand yours whole thing and your old-fashionedness and grandpa and grandma. I understand there's Gen Alpha. They're just crazy people. So I was kind of talking again with my wife about how weird we think we are. And I was like, yeah, I think we're some weird folks. And then I ran across this morning and figured I'd ask you, but that was pretty simple. You guys are all strange.
I think everybody's weird. I think the people that think they're not weird are self-deluding. Everybody's weird in some way, man.
You think the people that think that they're not weird are even weirder?
I think everyone has weirdness. That's what makes life cool, man. That's what, it isn't necessarily bad, but I think everyone's got like weird tendencies.
Sure.
In private, everyone's, when we're in our own little world, everybody's a little weird, man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Just think about how weird you are when you think you're alone in your car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's a little weird in there, dude. In that little car cab world, we think people can't see in. We can. We can. We see you in there, dude. We see you in there singing along to Mariah Carey.
Talking to yourself.
Yeah, we see you in there laughing maniacally, doing a character to yourself in your rearview mirror, practicing an argument you hope to win later.
Oh.
Yeah, we see you in there doing that,
Yeah.
dude.
And we understand.
And we do it too.
I do it all
We're
the time.
all a little weird.
There was I'm never alone in the house, right? So I haven't been alone in the house in some time, and it was last week. My daughter was not supposed to be home, and I came home and everybody's gone, and radio. The dog is sitting there, and she sits in her spot when the house is empty, which is not all that often. But all signs pointed to I'm alone in the house, and I was doing something on the computer. Not that.
Whoa!
I was doing something on the computer, and I was down in my office in the studio, and I was working on music or doing something, and my daughter popped out of her room that's in the basement, and I mean scared the living daylights out of me, first of all, but the first thing I said, and before I could even think about what I was saying, I said, "You're not supposed to be home. You got to tell me when you're home."
Oh, she's like, I live here.
And she's like, "Why?" And I was like, "Well, I thought I was alone."
She's like, Dad, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and she goes, "Well, what would you be doing?" I was like, I don't know. I think I talk to myself, or I sing, or I do weird things. I'm not really sure, but like, I would like to know when I'm not alone.
That has to be terrifying. There's always
That's
somebody
awesome.
there. It's like living in a haunted house.
I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary, but I probably was like, singing to myself or saying something. And I don't know, maybe I would say things that I wouldn't say in front of a 15-year-old.
Like the F word.
I have no idea, but again, it scared me to death. And we can connect it to this list that I found of the things basically every person experienced during their childhood, but never, ever talks about.
Oh, love it. Bring forth this list.
Here's the 15 highlights. Number 1, blowing into a straw while drinking milk to create milk bubbles. First of all, who didn't do that?
I do that to this day.
That should not be number 1.
I was always mature. I never partook.
Number 2, when first learning how to swim, an irrational fear of sharks in the deep end of the pool.
Always.
Still happening. Still happening for a lot of people. Number 3 is drawing a sun in the top corner of every piece of paper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the little corner
Yeah,
sun.
whoop, ding, ding, ding.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the first thing that you can draw as a kid that resembles what you're trying to
I
draw.
do that so I don't need any light at nighttime.
That's very good.
Number 4 is believing that gum would stay in your stomach for 7 years.
Yeah.
That's
a classic.
grandma lies right there.
Along with getting yelled at for turning on the interior light of the car when somebody was driving at night. My kids still ask, like, "Is it okay? Is it okay?"
Yeah.
Number 5 is playing with a foam ball and then taking a bite or a chunk out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, like the
Really?
Nerf?
Now this is where I lose the list.
Well, haven't you accidentally done that where it was kind of already torn up and you're just talking to your buddies or something on the curb and all of a sudden you realize you just picked off a part of it and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
darn
picking
it.
off of it, but we're talking about taking a bite out of it.
I think I've done that.
I don't think I
You guys
have
did that?
Did that. That's weird.
That's some psychopaths.
One of
That's
our brothers,
weird.
one of the brothers. I'm sure I've seen a Nerf ball with a bite mark in it. So somebody
mark.
did
I
it.
always thought it was dogs that did it.
Yeah, never a full like chunk out.
It's like
you leave your
spongy.
teeth and it'd show your little indentation of your
That's
teeth.
so gross.
I know.
Yeah, we had dogs that would do it, but
That's
they're
so gross.
goofy.
You never ate grass or anything when you were a kid?
Oh man,
No.
sour grass, the best.
Sour grass.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I
there was
did.
sour
What
grass.
were you guys doing
It was
in
like
Illinois?
the
You have
clovers.
to.
I don't know, you're
remember-
a kid, you're outside, and you're like, wonder what grass tastes like, and you just eat it.
Yeah, recess.
Oh,
I
It's
remember
gross, and you don't do it again, but it's like,
all the cool kids are eating sour grass by the
tried a clover,
I
tried
was-
to eat a dandelion one time,
Yep.
see what that was all about. Not
What?
good.
The,
Also
uh,
not good.
Yeah.
sucking out the honeysuckle.
Now that's
Yeah, that
good.
was fun.
That
See,
was
if you
awesome.
try enough
Yeah.
stuff in the wild.
But I always like
once
eating
in
the
a while, you're
grass
lucky.
after it just got treated. It was really good.
But the rest of humanity's already tried out everything in the wild, and they've told me what's reasonable and
Well-
what's not. I don't need to go around tasting everything. When you biting trees,
Oh, dude,
you
it was
guys are
really
weird.
long.
You never
at my
ate
grandma's house.
cat food or anything? Tried like a nibble of that?
I was listening
Everyone
to Slop
did
City,
that.
and Tina was talking about how she has tasted dog food before, and I did that as well. I got curious about because it smelled kind of good, and I was like, "What does this taste?" And it tastes disgusting, and you feel bad for the dog that you're feeding. This poor dog, this dry bran.
She eats our dog's cookies.
Oh,
Oh yeah, my daughter's
That's what
done
she,
that on
I think that's
accident.
what she was talking about.
like in 2024.
Like recently.
Yeah, well,
She came home and I think she had a few maybe, but there's like dog cookies.
yeah, and they make them like frosted.
They
make,
look like cookies.
Yeah,
They're-
birthday
they're,
cookies.
They're for dogs. There are dogs on the packaging.
and what signifies that is that they're in the shape of a bone.
Right.
Well, they look like regular cookies.
Oh, really?
But
Just
they're
like little
like for
circles?
dogs.
There's some bone ones though too that I know what you're talking about.
But they're like
vegan.
loaded with like animal fats and all the stuff that's in dog food.
Right.
And she's like, she just ate like 5 of them.
Wow.
I was like, they're good. It's like, all right.
A lot of them are made with like organic things, you know, because people are wanting to.
I'm good
feed their
on that.
animals.
We have it's like a bag of beef jerky, but it's dried and it's for the dog. It's very, very specifically for the dog, and the packaging does not make that clear. And anytime it's on the the desk, I swear the kids are going by thinking it's beef jerky and they grab it.
No.
And
I
it's,
see
dude,
that.
it's dog stuff. It's like dog chips. It's like beef chips or
Yeah,
something.
We have ostrich ones that just look like pepperonis. I've almost gotten in there a couple times.
Wait,
These look
for the
pretty good.
dog? Mm-hmm. Oh,
They're
interesting.
like little ostrich discs.
Made of
Treats
ostrich?
for the dogs, yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Nothing but the best for Bo and Simba.
Number 6 was pinching your finger or your lips or other parts of your face with any hair clips or clips for no reason.
Yep.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Still do
I
that.
still do that in here. I have a paper clip that I'll put on I'll take the fat of my fingers and I'll just do that.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's nervous tendencies probably. I always have to be busy in some
Yeah,
way.
yeah, you got to put a hair clip on your finger. If there's one around, you just got to see how it fits,
still
see
do
how it
that.
feels. Me too.
Yeah.
You do the elbow thing because you can't
Elbow,
feel
yeah.
it.
This is the best place.
So always did, you do all the fingers and you.
Essentially, what we're all describing is 1980s fidget spinners.
Yep.
We just had to invent them out of pencils and paper clips and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 1980s social media.
Yeah. Number 7 is rolling up the straps of your backpack as tight as humanly possible. You know? Again, fidget. That's the fidget stuff.
Yep.
Number 8 is stabbing an eraser with your pencil and leaving graphite holes in it and small designs.
That always made me mad. I wanted my eraser to look perfect.
Also, remember the mechanical pencils when those came out on the scene?
Oh,
and you'd pump them
dude.
all the way out, and then you'd hold it,
heroin?
and then you'd do the heroin thing, or you'd stab yourself in the arm. And
I just remember when they first
So
came out
cool.
and you see some of the cool rich kids in class get it, and you're like, oh, what is this
I know.
little thing?
Yeah. Or the rubber pencil. I'll still catch
yeah,
myself
the
every
rubber.
once in a
Doing
while.
this thing.
Yeah.
Did you ever
Everyone's-
do pencil break?
Where you flip them?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
one person has to hold it like this, and then you have to do that, and whoever
Sure.
breaks the other person's pencil like loses.
Oh,
My
dang,
rule
never
was
did that.
I wouldn't do them if they were Ticonderoga. Those pencils, those were like the best for art. But if they were any other brand, I didn't care. I'd break them.
No, we used to do that. We used to do that for money. We'd have full-on tournaments.
Whoa.
That was like 8th grade craps. Instead of rolling dice, we were over there doing pencil break. Number 9 is freaking out after swallowing a seed, like from an apple or a watermelon, and thinking
Yeah.
about it for days.
Yep.
Yeah, I swallowed an apricot seed. Thought
Dang.
it was going to be over.
Aren't those huge?
Yeah. And it went down. I was like, well, this is the end of it.
This is it.
You're like, oh, no, it's okay. Everything worked out.
Picking
I
it-
haven't pooped in 20 years, but
Picking a raindrop and making it your raindrop and watching it while trying to win the race as it streaked down the windshield or bedroom window.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
that was awesome.
God, we were so
Is,
bored.
Now I need to do that again. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Also, walking down the hall of the school, did you ever put your finger in like the grooves of the bricks?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
The painted
Everybody,
bricks.
Yeah, the painted bricks, and you would like take your finger and just kind of put it in the groove of where the mortar was
Forgot
at.
about that.
Yep.
I still
Soothing.
stagger my steps, so I'm always on the tiles and not on the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Something I still do as an adult, and I catch myself doing it all the time, or my wife reminds me because we're holding hands, or my hands on her leg, or something like that. When I'm driving, if there's anything of consistency, like light poles
You'll
or
start.
dashes in the road or whatever it may be, I tap my fingers together when I think that I'm in the exact middle
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
between point A and point B. So my fingers are constantly going tap, tap,
That's
tap.
funny.
That's something I did as a kid that I have not dropped yet. Number 11 is having a bodyboard slip out from underneath you while swimming and having it uppercut you in the face.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's just the good stuff.
Yeah, that's something that just makes you an experienced kid, not a weird person.
You know what we used to do, and this is weird as hell, was we used to get in my friend's pool. We'd take a trash can, you get on his diving board, and if you turned it upside down and you held it on your shoulders, a person could stand on it and it would create an air pocket.
That's
And
cool.
they could stay on it. You could breathe underwater and like
Right.
walk across the bottom of the pool inside of a trash can.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Submarining.
I'm going to try that today.
I want to try that so bad.
We
That
used
is
to do
awesome.
it all the time, and I'm like, we're lucky we didn't drown somebody because you don't know the person.
Yeah, that's-
you're holding the person down.
Right.
You're standing on a trash can while they and like keeping your balance while they walk across the bottom of the pool with you your body weight holding them
Yeah,
down.
like a bell
You're
diver.
just trusting that there's an air pocket in this trash can.
Like a bell diver.
That is awesome.
So what? And it would literally create like right at your shoulders. It would create like a pocket of air, breathable air that you could walk all the way down to one end of the pool and back.
Wow, we're going to do that
That's
today.
sweet. Science.
Number 12 is pretending to smoke when it's cold outside and you can
Yeah.
see your breath. And
Still do that?
I was going to say, I think adults are still doing that. Number 13 is taking a magnet and trying to force the two same poles together, even though you know it's not going to work.
Still do that?
Number 14, sitting in church and looking up at massive light fixtures and trying to figure out who they'd kill if they fell.
Still do that?
Yeah, I think I do that pretty much everywhere I go. As
I do think about that
as like
a
a
lot.
precautionary thing.
I think about earthquakes. When I go into a place and I'm like, oh, look at this icicle chandelier. Pfft, we're all dead. If
You're
we
not,
have an earthquake.
you're not going to find me under that.
Yeah.
Number 15, this one is a bit off topic, but it says, when you randomly smell a specific scent you remember as a kid and the nostalgia memories come flooding in. That is like science. I cannot smell cucumber melon without going to the summer of 1998. Summer of 97. Cucumber melon was the only thing apparently girls were buying back then. Was it Bath and Body Works or what was the other place? The Body Shop or something?
The Body Shop, the Body Store.
Whoever was selling cucumber melon retired on that particular scent.
Anytime I smell toilet wine, it always takes me back to San Quentin.
Do you guys feel like people are inherently nice or just in general nice?
Yeah. I do. It's a choice. We all have niceness and meanness in us, and
I mean, look
think
out
most
here.
people choose to be nice.
It's wild how rare it is that people are hurting other people. You know, we hear about it all the time in the news, but you look down the street and you never see it.
Luckily, yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty cool. So that means most people tend to want to be kind. This is maybe a few seconds of their life they don't.
Yeah.
Well, it says there are three kinds of people in the world. Those who assume strangers are nice, those who assume strangers are not nice, and those who never interact with anyone they don't know. A new poll asked people which of these two camps they belong to. Quote, everyone is nice until they prove that they're a bad person, or everybody's a bad person until they prove that they're nice. So between those two categories, which one are you?
I think I always assume folks are going to be nice.
Everybody's
and
nice.
It's kind of fun when they're weird and mean, you know, but I assume they're nice, and everyone, because I'm a blabbermouth. If I'm in a line at a store or whatever, I'm going to talk to people around me.
So everybody's nice until
Yeah.
proven otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm the same, yeah.
Rafe?
I think that one-on-one individuals, I think that are inherently kind. It's when they get into groups of two or more that you got to be wary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, mob mentality and that kind of vibe.
Yeah. It's what the internet breeds. It's what, you know, if you run into a group. If I run into a teenager alone, I'm like, probably pretty cool cat. I run into a group of teenagers, I'm like, no,
Terrifying.
Yep.
Yeah,
no.
I can see that.
That makes sense.
You're not going to roast my shoes. I'm out of here.
What's hard to remember too that we kind of have to keep in mind is that old Jerry Seinfeld thing. He said, you know, when somebody was like complaining about being famous or something, he got really upset. And he's like, how can you complain about being famous? He's like, the best part of being famous besides, and this is him talking, and besides him being rich, he goes, I get the best version of everyone. Everyone that comes up to me
Yeah.
it's the best version of them
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're so excited to meet Jerry Seinfeld. Of course, we're not Jerry Seinfeld, but like,
Right.
you know, we're in show business. So for the most part, we're getting like the best versions of folks.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
I've only ran into a couple of bad people that are just angry at the world or angry with me or whatever, which I'm thankful for. I'm thankful that most of the good people come out and the bad ones don't waste their time.
That was the fun thing of living out in LA is that everyone is trying to network. And you never know who you're meeting, so
Oh, yeah.
everyone knows that rule. So you're kind to absolutely everyone, and everyone's so excited to see you, even though you know it's fake. But
Right.
You're like, this is so fun. Everyone's
The schmooze fest.
pretty much nice. If you go to a party, everyone's going to
Yeah.
be really kind, even though you can tell they're.
I also think that's
Already a jerk.
proof. You know, what Lern just said is, to me, is proof of like inherently we all know kindness is the default because the people who aren't kind don't come out because they know they're wrong. Deep down, they know they're the a-hole. And they're cowards.
Or that they're going to be met with that possibility of being the a-hole. They may not know it, but people that hate me, I'm like, dude, you meet me at a show or you have no idea who I am or whatever, or we've never met through the radio like this. Chances are you'd probably be really into talking to me and like wanting to hang out. Cause like I got a lot of people in my life, I'm not trying to gloat. It's the law of attraction. You attract what you put out. And I just love people. And I don't know, I try to be kind first. I
Sure.
mean, I know I've had hard opinions on things, but everybody has that too. And I feel like,
And you're paid to show your opinions. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I mean, for 4 hours. We're talking for 4 hours every single day. So a lot of people are
Mistakes will be made.
Yeah, a lot of people are hearing things that you're not necessarily discussing with your best bud. You may not know that your best bud totally disagrees with everything you say.
And let me just say this on the record. I don't think I have everything right. I'm just like, we watched Joe Rogan's new stand-up live special over the weekend.
Why?
And because I wanted to watch it because a lot of what Joe Rogan has said in the past, there's things that I don't agree with. But I'm not too bold to go, you know what, let's just turn this on and see something that maybe I'm going to have a problem with. Tim and I both watched it, and I did fall asleep because I was tired. But the things that I did see that he was joking about, I wasn't like clutching my pearls the whole time. I was like hearing this guy out, and I was like, and we both said as we walked away from it, like, that wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
Was it pretty fun?
It was okay. Like, I'm not saying I agree with everything that guy says, but I wasn't offended, and I understood the humor that he was putting out there. But let me say this, like, I wish more people would do that with me that maybe have differing opinions than I do. Like, give me a chance to, like, be a human. I'll let you have your chance to be a human as well. We don't do that anymore as a society, and it shows because of all the vitriol that's online. And that's sad, you know?
Well, we're all in good company. 70% of people said that they give new people the benefit of the doubt. Only 30 people said that they consider people enemies and have to earn their stripes as a friend.
What a fun life to live.
Like enemies first, and then they have to earn their stripes as a friend.
That's so weird. Like, but you know what? Those people are hurt.
Well, it's interesting because a quote came along with it and said, assuming people aren't nice leads to people actually becoming less nice. And another said, neither until proven otherwise. And then they try to go in with a blank slate. But I mean, your nature is assuming something. That's kind of how we go in. But I think we're all in good company, 70%.
And if you go out and you're a happy person and you like, man, I hope everyone else gets to be happy and gets to enjoy their life like I do, that rubs off. Because have you ever noticed if you're really tired or kind of just you accidentally get bored and you're sitting there and people are like, you okay? What's wrong?
Sure.
And then it brings down the whole thing. But if you come in with a ball of fire and you're like, yeah, blah, 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 then everyone's like, yeah, me too.
But isn't that sweet that somebody has the kindness to go, hey, what's going on with you? Like, they actually care. Like, that's somebody's kindness.
I apologize.
Don't stab the people that ask how you're doing.
Now, even though we assume that people are nice until proven otherwise, I'm sure we've run into some people that have proven otherwise. And just to close it all out, man, 22% of people say that it's likely they've interacted with a serial killer in their life.
Oh, I think about this all the time. Dude,
no way. What a surprise.
Yeah, I know. Not surprising to anyone. Every time I go to an airport, I'm like, somebody has a body in their basement right now, like walking in this airport.
Weird. I wonder what the stats are.
What are the stats?
I talked about this on the number 2 show last week with Riz, and someone called in. I wonder this too. I wonder if it's because we're so obsessed with true crime that we want it. We want to, like, we're so obsessed as a nation with,
it's
like,
everywhere.
True crime and Jack the Ripper and John Wayne Gacy, and all of a sudden someone did call in and say that their husband, this is wild, in the 70s grew up in, like, Aurora, Illinois, and went to a birthday party where John Wayne Gacy was the clown, Pogo. And he was drunk, and it was like a mobster's. It was like the kid was like from the mob family, and a mobster beat the hell out of him and threw him out of the party. Whoa. And I'm like, man,
what?
So much childhood trauma was wrapped up in that party. There was no escaping it.
He was scary as a clown.
But like, think about that, dude. Just finding out you were like at a childhood party where John Wayne Gacy was the clown entertainer.
Right.
Because that did happen to a lot of people. Wow. He did a ton of parties.
Yeah.
Before he got caught.
Well, he didn't do it. The parties had nothing to do with the murder stuff.
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
What was
I
his?
think that was,
what was his thing?
But still,
I think he was doing that well before
he was
any of the murder stuff.
I'm just saying,
they were
like,
not associated.
As far as interacting with the serial killers, I mean, yeah, there might be someone at the DMV.
I got
He's
a friend,
not killing people at the DMV, but they are killing people.
I got a friend that's a clown. I got clown friends. Okay,
Me too.
So I can talk about it.
They have a code of ethics.
And well, I know that they do get upset with the whole John Wayne Gacy thing, being a clown and associated with murder, because they're like, whoa.
Listen, I'm not trying to put all clowns into one car.
Clown was like, what?
So 22% of people say that it's likely they've interacted with a serial killer. 8% say extremely likely. Serial killers are people who kill multiple people over periods of time, like months or years, as opposed to mass murderers who kill a lot of people all at once. The U.S. does have a lot of both types. As of 2020, America had 3,613 documented serial killers throughout history, and England was a very distant second with 176.
Whoa.
There's been a huge decline of serial killers after they peaked in the 70s and the 80s. So why are people so sure that they've crossed paths with one at some point? Maybe because of our obsession with the crime TV shows and podcasts. In the same poll, 57% of people admitted to consuming true crime content on a regular basis. Around half of them say it's something that they watch or listen to at least once a month. 28% people say that they're so obsessed and enjoy true crime at least a few times a week, and 10% say it's daily. So why are people so crazy about it? 66% of people say that they like true crime because they have an interest in mysteries or like seeing cases being solved. Others have an interest in forensic science, psychology, and understanding criminals. And 8% of people say that they watch true crime to go to sleep, which seems like
That's healthy.
It's all
a
my
good
friends.
thing to do. Well, you know what? It's
That's what
funny.
I do.
You've been watching the new Unsolved Mysteries?
I'll put on like Last Podcast on the Left or some of these. I'll fall asleep to like an in detail account of Jonestown murders.
Oh, no.
It doesn't bother me at all. I'll be like, I'll be nodding off to Jim, like actual audio recordings of Jim Jones. I'm just
That's
like,
crazy.
can't figure out why I don't sleep well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do want Kool-Aid.
I did go to sleep last week when that Unsolved Mysteries came back. I was like, oh, sweet. You know, Unsolved Mysteries is back. This is neat. Put it on. What is it again? It's another Discovery Channel thing about Jack the Ripper. It was another episode. And I even said, oh, God, another Jack the Ripper episode? And then I watched the whole thing. Couldn't sleep. Pretty cool.
There's a new. Oh,
Sorry, Rafe, what were you saying?
we can wait. I got it. It'll be relevant to crap on. I'll get to it later.
Good.
All right,
Nice.
we will get the crap on in just a minute. Let's do the Team Riz Member of the Day, brought to you by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Book your fantasy football draft party this season at Hot Shots. Visit hotshotsnet.com/fantasy. Stephanie Covey from Florissant, Missouri. Stephanie has loved the Riz Show for many years and relates to the show because the content is relevant to her age group. She often shares the Freak of the Week with her office mates and appreciates Lern's perspectives and thoughts on many topics discussed during this show.
Thanks, pal.
Stephanie also loves the many games and competitions that are had between the crew and the overall presentation of the show and is excited to be a part of Team Riz. Welcome to the team, Stephanie. Sign up, 1057thepoint.com/Team Riz. Welcome back to the Rizzuto Show. Yep, Riz is off this week, but no big deal. We are holding down the fort right here. Riz is down south in water.
Yep.
Some body of water down there. Don't forget, you can join us, the Rizzuto Show, as we host Ballpark Village's Shipwrecked Halloween Party Saturday night, October 26th. Featuring a live performance from Moon, that's me, and the Teenage Dirtbags, that's us. You guys will be joining, I'm sure, on some vocals. It's a party. You guys have been to this before, and if you haven't, you missed out. You've seen that there's huge chances to win up to $10,000 in cash and prizes inside the costume contest, treasure chest, all exclusive drink packages, and more. Get your skeleton crew and sail through 6 venue parties all in one with access to Bally Sports Live, Shark Bar, Crown Room, PBR, Budweiser Brewhouse, Cardinals Nation, all that. And then, of course, the whole main area where we're going to be playing and jamming and having the costume contest and all that. Tickets are available today at 10 a.m. $35 all-inclusive or $20 GA. That's an incredible price.
Wow, that's
It is.
wonderful.
For a long, big, awesome party. You can show up whenever you want. And like I said, it gets you access to everything. All 6 bars up there. So get ready to party at Shipwrecked Halloween Party at Ballpark Village, brought to you in part by Johnny Brock's Dungeon Party Warehouse. Get all the details and the link to buy those tickets, 1057thepoint.com. Again, they go on sale at 10 a.m.
I was thinking about my costume. I don't want to give it away, but I have a couple of contenders in my brain. Have you guys been thinking about what kind of...
Well, we talked about the G
Semen you're gonna be?
I think I got mine now.
We were last night because I tend to forget to tell my wife things, and she went out with the board, which is her group of friends. They call themselves the
That's
board.
fantastic.
So she went out to brunch with the board.
9.
And they were asking him. They were asking her like, "Hey, what are you going to do for Ballpark Village?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, I don't know." And she said, "Well, it's you're going to be a pirate." She's like, "Why would I be a pirate?" She's like, "Oh, it's the theme is shipwrecked." And she goes,
Yeah.
I didn't know that."
I didn't know.
So then she came home and she's like, I think I'm going to be this. I think I'm going to be that. And I don't want to give it away. But she was putting her whole costume together. And I said, dude, can we please talk about a budget?
Yes.
No, it's Halloween. There is no budget. You heard it here
Money
first.
doesn't matter.
Budget
at
is
that.
unlimited.
Unlimited budget.
Dude, no.
TBA.
I have the costume that will be easy to create because this is just me. It's out at sea. And I have the elaborate, money bustin' costume.
Is it you in a boat with a cat while a child drowns outside of it?
Don't ruin this
Wow.
for me, okay?
Are you going to do both? You're going to do two?
No, I'm gonna do one. I'm dreaming them up. I'm in the beginning stages of the dreaming of Halloween, and I would have done this even if we didn't have a party. I love Halloween,
Yeah,
and
me too.
And
Yeah,
I'm
we do
excited
too.
this year. I love you guys, but I'm glad we're all doing our own thing because I feel like the Alice in Wonderland thing last year, being the first year Rafe and I were on the show, we all collectively had to theme out, and that's fine. But I like going rogue on my own, and this year it's going to happen. So I hope to see everybody there.
Oh, I was doing a themed costume. Now I feel stupid.
Why?
Wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
I was doing something I thought we'd all incorporate together. I guess I'll just throw it in the trash.
You were not.
He's
I know
gonna dress
exactly.
up like a
Actually, you
parrot?
and I may be on.
I'm doing
the
a
same...
sad face to the cameras right now.
Oh, sorry.
No, I wasn't. I don't care about any of you.
What?
Do you have an idea?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And it is on theme of the. I assumed everybody's doing. No one has come to me with any group ideas, so I just assumed we were on our own.
Well, as we were talking about yesterday, it's such a general theme that it actually kind of creates some opportunity for some real creativity.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We started, at first we're like, oh, what are you supposed to be? And then the more we thought about it, the more we talked it out, we're like, whoa.
I know
we could
one
get
thought you've
really
had,
clever.
and I think you could pull it off.
A thought that I had?
I guarantee you've thought about it because I've thought about it, and we're of the same ilk and age. And you could pull it off really good.
Is this going to be insulting?
Shit. No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I know that coming from me, that is an honest reaction. Should I say it on the air, or should I keep? You might.
Give me. Yeah,
Hint it out.
I want the
G.I.
idea.
Joe.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Shipwrecked. G.I. Joe.
The actual G.I. Joe shipwreck.
Oh, that's the thing.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
play
Like
with
the
those.
sailor guy, and he's got a big mustache. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh, does he look like this?
you could
Right
just,
on.
He's got the
you
vibe?
could do it, man. You could pull it off. You could grow the stash out.
Can he play in the costume?
Well, he had a beard. I always thought it was like a shipwreck beard. He just basically looked like he was in the Navy, but he
He
had a
looks like
specific
Castaway.
costume. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I want to be a dinghy.
I figured you'd thought about that already as much as we nerd out over G.I. Joe stuff.
I haven't thought about anything really, except for what can I play in? Because last year I had so many different ideas, and I was like, I can't play in those
Right.
things. So it kind of limits me a little bit, unless I can have something on and then take it off real quick.
Yeah.
Shipwrecked is awesome.
It's cool, right?
Good idea.
Dude, he wins.
Let me see him.
Okay, let's get this one.
What's he look like? For some reason I'm remembering like a white
Yeah.
It's
Mr.
like
T.
you, but just green.
No, I
Green.
mean, he was like a traditional sailor, but I want to say he had
You're thinking of the Army men. This is
Oh.
G.I. Joe.
Oh,
Yeah.
apologies. I was a girl.
that guy.
Oh, okay. So he's
I mean, look at him.
Oh,
He had a parrot and
That's
just a
adorable.
cool looking
Dude.
guy.
dude.
And then
Okay,
there's other ones that.
that's set because that will actually go with what my wife is envisioning.
okay. Look at us figuring things out on this show.
What kind of weapons were that?
I don't know. That
He
was
had
a new
parrots.
age.
See here.
I'm not going to be able to get in Ballpark Village with those. Back in the day, August 5th, 163 years ago, 1861, Abraham Lincoln signed the first federal income tax into law. The 3% tax was applied to all incomes over $800. 110 years ago, in 1914, the first electric traffic lights were installed. In what city?
The first, which one? What year? Sorry.
Thank you for paying attention.
No, what year?
New Orleans.
Cleveland,
Cleveland,
Ah,
Ohio,
what
of
year?
course.
1914.
I was going to say Cleveland.
67 years ago, 1957, Dick Clark's American Bandstand made its debut in Philadelphia. That'll Be the Day by Buddy Holly was the first record played. 62 years ago, in 1962, Marilyn Monroe's housekeeper discovered Marilyn's beautiful nude body in the bedroom of her Los Angeles home. Her death was ruled a possible suicide from an overdose of barbiturates. 60 years ago, 1964, Mel Brooks married Anne Bancroft. They were married until her death in 2005. They had 4 kids, and their son, Max Brooks, is the guy who wrote World War Z.
No way.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I
She
did
was
not know that.
beautiful. Anne Bancroft.
48 years ago, in 1976, the NBA merged with the American Basketball Association, the ABA, absorbing their 4 most successful teams, the Denver Nuggets, the Indiana Pacers, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Brooklyn Nets, who were called the New York Nets back then. 41 years ago, 1983, Risky Business was released, starring Tom Cruise in a beautiful bulge in the crotchal area of his very sexy tighty-whities. 41 years ago, also in 1983, David Crosby was sentenced to 5 years in prison for drugs and another 3 years for firearms possession after he slept through most of the trial. He got to serve both sentences concurrently. He was paroled in 1986. 32 years ago, 1992, Jeff Porcaro, the amazing drummer for Toto, dropped dead in his front yard while spraying insecticide. At first, everybody thought and spread the rumors that it was an allergic reaction from the insecticide triggering a heart attack, but the autopsy revealed that his arteries were all hardened from copious amounts of the Bolivian marching powder, most likely snorted during Toto's long reign of glory at the top of the charts when the band was constantly cranking out giant hits like Africa, Rosanna, and Africa, and Rosanna.
That's exactly
And?
right.
And Africa.
Yeah.
24 years ago in 2000, Obi-Wan Kenobi died. Sir Alec Guinness, the original Obi-Wan, died of liver cancer in the Southern England hospital at the age of 86. When doctors came to check on him, all they found was his hospital gown in a heap on the floor. I couldn't even get through that. Luckily, the cancer that struck him down was only made him more powerful, and now we see him in Force Ghost form.
Yes.
14 years ago in 2010, 33 Chilean miners were trapped 2,300 feet below ground when the area where they were working caved in on them. They were trapped underground for, do you guys remember how long they were under there?
It was
A couple weeks, wasn't it?
yeah.
I thought it was a
long
couple
time.
weeks.
20 days?
It was 69 days.
69
Whoa.
days.
Nice.
I thought it was like 2 weeks, but it was
Much longer.
much longer.
That's
Man.
amazing. I
Yeah,
remember
that is incredible.
like being very worried for those people because I mean, what do you do? What do you eat? The air?
Yeah.
No water?
This was one of those scenarios where they were talking about making the movie before they were even out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had someone go down there and start filming. Like,
Are you
they were already
serious?
filming stuff. Yeah.
Did Sean Penn go down there? I feel like he just
I
shows
don't
up
know. That
whenever.
that seems likely. Did they ever do that movie?
Yeah.
Has
they
anyone
did,
ever seen
They
that?
did a documentary and I think maybe 2 movies. And it was funny because a lot of the main guy of the crew, he was talking about how they were just praying and asking God for help the whole time, and somehow they stayed alive. And then in the movie, they never once bring up any of like the main part
religious
of
part.
his whole speech of that. It's pretty funny.
6 years ago, 2018, Charlotte Ray died at her home with her family at 92. Do you guys know who Charlotte Ray is?
Charlotte Ray. No.
Is that a?
The spider.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Charlotte's
I think
Web.
so.
Nope. Charlotte Ray, you knew her as Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life.
Oh, I'm
and
embarrassed I
Different
didn't know
Strokes. Yep, Charlotte Ray died on this day in 2018. All right, Lern, tell us all your crap on these celebrities.
Here comes the crap. Green Day drummer Trey Cool visited Sammy Hagar at his show last Wednesday in Toronto. Hagar posted some backstage footage on Instagram, including himself playing drums as the band jammed on stage to The Beatles Come Together. In honor of Toronto native and Rush frontman Geddy Lee, when the band gathered in circle to have a pep talk before going on stage, they broke into Rush's Closer to the Heart, and Sammy Hagar posted all of the highlights from Detroit and Chicago. So will we get some sort of fantastic cameo on this tour of Best of Both Worlds when Sammy is here on August 31st at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater? We'll have to wait and see. Another Van Halen news, Wolfgang Van Halen says that he has no idea that David Lee Roth, why he started to hate him. He's still kind of confused about the whole thing. I was listening to Mark Maron's WTF podcast last night. Listen to this interview. Here's a little audio of Wolfie talking to Mark Maron about David Lee Roth and how he just has no clue where this Dave hate had started because he's not Eddie. He's Eddie's kid.
And you guys get along? Not really. At least as of recently, I thought we were on good terms, and he actually made a couple YouTube videos about me, about how much he doesn't like me. Which was like, okay, cool, man. I don't know what it is with 80s bands. There's always something. Like, I've kind of used it as my own, just like, I don't want this to happen. So it's like, for my band, it's like, why can't we just have a good time and just be happy and make music? Like, is it that difficult?
Wolfie goes in pretty deep. He talks about his relationship with Alex Van Halen, how Alex's book is coming out. You know, Moon, I thought of you because you've said you've never, and I feel this way too. You don't know what Alex Van Halen sounds like because we've never heard that guy speak before.
And not in an insulting way. That's
Right.
kind of why I love him.
But he's so private, and Wolfie opens up about how private his uncle is and how, with all the David Lee Roth stuff and the videos and just the, you know, turmoil of the Van Halen band as a whole and with Sammy's guys. And it's a really interesting interview. I know Riz listened to it, so if you are curious about it.
Think about this. You got loudmouth next to loudmouth next to loudmouth from that band.
Right.
It makes the quiet guy, who's like underrated as far as his talent and his originality, by far the most interesting guy in the band.
Sure.
I mean, by far. And the brother of, I mean, the freaking legend.
Right.
He's a legend himself, and nobody like gives him the credit. Well, I'm not going to say nobody, but I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. And the fact that he's so tight-lipped while he's surrounded by nothing but just drama spewers, I love the guy. He's so interesting.
Well, what's, you know,
he can only ruin it from here.
if you have wondered what it was like, and I was not prepared for this. Mark Maron did a great job of interviewing Wolfgang Van Halen and going to literally the hospital room when Eddie died and talking about that, which I'm surprised Wolfgang Van Halen opened up about such private, personal parts of himself that is, you know, laced in grief. It's a really great interview, and you can just tell that Mark Maron did the research and just loved Van Halen, but also wanted to highlight Wolfgang's band, Mammoth. And it's just great. And I got kind of choked up because, I mean, my dad died and I wasn't there. And Wolfgang Van Halen talks about being by his dad's side as he went. And it's just, I don't know. Trigger warning if you've lost a parent and you've gone through that. But he talks about how if he gets a phone call between the hours of like midnight and 8 a.m., he has like almost PTSD of, oh my God, is this the phone call? Dad's dead. And he still has that. Or if he hears an automatic hand sanitizer dispenser,
from the
he has a
hospital.
little, you know, dark memory with that. Or if he hears like the beeping of a heart monitor, it's crazy. But I really enjoyed hearing his life and that. Anyway. One of the worst things to happen in my weekend was Aerosmith announced that they are retiring from the road.
I was wondering what your take was on this.
Yeah.
Uncle Ken Cruz messaged me on Instagram before I had seen all the social posts, and he goes, "I'm so sorry about Aerosmith." And I was like, "What?" And so I went and saw that they had posted that they were retiring from the road, and just the backstory of that. Been one of my favorite bands since I was a kid. Was taking my mom because I thought this was going to be the last time we were seeing them, and I've seen them a handful of times, so I'm thankful for that. But yeah, they said it was 1970 when a spark of inspiration became Aerosmith. Thanks to you, our Blue Army, that spark caught flame and has been burning for over 5 decades. Some of you have been with us since the beginning, and all of you are the reason we made rock history. Dream on. You've made our dreams come true. They just could not get through Steven Tyler's larynx vocal cord issues, and they had to call it quits. So it sucks because Joe Perry was just talking about them being back in studio making new music, which I'm kind of speculating, is that still going to happen? Maybe that's the only thing he could be doing, is something that can be highly edited, which I'm down for, but it's such a bummer. So Aerosmith's last show will now be on the record books of being September 9th, 2023 at the UBS Arena in Elmont, New York. It was just 23 miles outside of Manhattan. Nobody knew at the time that was going to be the last show. And I was genuinely heartbroken because I just haven't been this wrapped up financially, emotionally, and excitedly about a tour. And most of the tours I go to, they happen, you know? And so I haven't been this bummed out in a while for music. And I got a little choked up on Friday. I'm going to be real about it. I was disappointed for all of us here that were Aerosmith fans.
Yeah, it's a bummer, man. That was one of the coolest bands and coolest moments when you're, 80s or 90s kid and you grow up and you're like, living on the edge and you get this record and you kind of start diving in and you're like, this band's so cool. And then somebody shows you Dream On and then somebody shows you something even older and you go, holy crud, this band's a 70s band?
Yeah.
And then you get into it and you go, this stuff is cooler than the 90s stuff that I already love.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I always knew I was an adult because I wasn't a big fan of them as a kid. And then all of a sudden around 2021, I heard Dream On, and I was telling my buddy, dude, I'm like, I heard this song called Dream On, and he told me it was Aerosmith. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden I realized, like, wait, I like Aerosmith? I guess that means I'm an adult now.
I like
weird.
Aerosmith.
But then after that, it unlocked all of it, where it's like, oh, I get it now. It's so good.
Well, there's so many bands that wouldn't have started had it not been for those bad boys from Boston. Slash said that he picked up a guitar as a kid and started his interest in music because of Aerosmith. And you just think about that. Like, we might have not had Guns N' Roses had it not been for Aerosmith laying a little bit of a foundation for at least Slash, which is crazy.
And not only were they obviously just hugely inspirational as far as music goes and fans and all that kind of stuff. There was a bunch of interviews that I saw early in my career from Steven in like the 80s. Where he was talking about just kind of like their approach as far as a business, or just as far as like how to stay relevant and how to like continue to doing that. And that was always really inspiring. That A, he was forthcoming, and B, smarter dude than I think a lot of people gave him credit for.
For sure. And he was part of a duo. Mick and Keith, Steven and Joe Perry. I mean, the Toxic Twins. They had something that was so rock and roll and organic, and it wasn't. That doesn't happen as much anymore. We don't have a lot of lead singer and lead guitarist energy in bands these days.
It
Everybody's
happens
for themselves.
It happens, but they break up.
That's what I mean.
They don't
like,
stick together.
right.
Yes, because I've seen it.
So I'm bummed, and my heart goes out to anybody else who's bummed. Justin Timberlake's driver's license has been suspended after he virtually attended a hearing for his DWI case in New York. The judge also threatened Timberlake's attorney, Edward Burke Jr., for making irresponsible comments in the last hearing. Timberlake's license has now been suspended in New York pending the outcome of the case. Of course, remember JT was pulled over on suspicion of intoxication in Sag Harbor, New York in June. So his license is suspended. Dave Grohl offered a tribute literally to Tenacious D on Saturday night. They were in Denver, Colorado. Here's a little bit of what they did on Tenacious D's tribute.
He said, play the best song in the world, or I'll eat your soul. So you're my brother. Robin. He said, okay. And we play the best song in the world.
So he doesn't get through the whole song. He actually stops and he goes, I only play drums on that song. And he couldn't get through the lyrics.
And he
all
played
of
the
it.
devil.
And he played the devil. And if you know that, it's from the Pick of Destiny. Your weekly Jelly Roll news. He executed an epic choke slam at the WWE SummerSlam as he was the musical performer on Saturday night's event at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. But he also got some action against the A-Town Down Under tag team after Austin Theory and Grayson Waller trashed the home crowd and name-dropped Jelly Roll in the process. So here's what that kind of sounded like if you missed
Said
it.
a lot of words I don't.
Hey, what you gonna do, belly swallow? What, you trying? Oh, look out! Jelly Roll's got a tear, and Austin Theory just said, somebody save me!
Well, Grayson Waller's wearing a damn onesie. Theory's out here dressed like an extra from Michael Jackson's Bad video. At least we've got Jelly Roll here to save the day.
And Jelly Roll's not done!
Well,
Water my biscuits, Michael Cole! That's some real Jelly power!
What that guy said? Underwater fish sticks?
Butter
Here's
my
what
biscuits,
happened.
I think.
Listen,
Underwater
Jelly
fish.
Roll snuck into the ring, hit both of these guys with a steel chair. Jelly then gave huge props to The Miz and R-Truth, who were in the process of announcing the main event before the chaos broke out. And after the night was over, Jelly Roll took to social media to thank the WWE for helping him live out his childhood dreams. The guy is everywhere, and now at the WWE.
The guy is everywhere. And you know what? I don't know anything about wrestling anymore, and I'm pretty disconnected from all of it. But if I ever got invited to body slam anybody in that thing,
Yeah.
Can you
in
imagine?
a heartbeat.
Yep.
Holy
Same.
cow.
On to
This
TV.
one.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I wrestled last year at 44.
Oh, yeah.
Debut wrestling.
Yeah.
And retired in the same night, and it was really fun and awesome.
On to TV, Family Guy is planning to break one of its longtime rules about Stewie Griffin in the upcoming season. Alex Bornstein, who is the voice of Lois Griffin on the show, revealed at the Comic-Con that her character will finally hear Stewie talk after she smokes some weed in an episode. Traditionally, the only character who can understand what Stewie is saying is the family dog Brian Griffin. Season 23 of Family Guy is going to premiere this fall. Kevin Bacon created a goat cocktail in honor of Simone Biles. On Saturday, after she secured the gold in the all-around individual event, Kevin Bacon rolled out a video for what he called the Iced Out Goat Cocktail. Here is Kevin sharing what that is.
I don't think I've ever done this. I want to share a cocktail recipe for you. First off, your favorite tequila, some. I don't know. I don't really measure anything, as you probably know. Plenty of lime, some chili powder, okay? Because she is fire. And do I have ice in here? And I like just a dash of maple syrup, and that is a goat. And I call this drink the iced out goat. Congratulations, Simone. Oh, yeah.
Old boy sounded like he was tipping back some of that every time she did a flip or something.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know this, but I will start following Kevin Bacon. The guy has goats on his farm, and he's a good time on the socials. So if you want to learn how to make the iced out goat, you're watching the Olympics, maybe you need something to sip on, go follow Kevin Bacon because he's awesome. Ben Affleck has debuted a new haircut over the weekend. I know you all care. He also might play Hulk Hogan in a movie about Hogan's multi-million-dollar sex tape lawsuit against Gawker.com.
Does his haircut make him look like stoked on life? Like maybe it was his haircut this entire time that made him look like he was down.
I mean, Scott, you could pull up the new, if you want to hit the link that I sent you.
You know how a haircut can totally change somebody's face?
For sure.
Well, what if for the next like 3 months, he
looks like he's going into the military, okay? He's got like this kind of crew cut, like flat on the top, shaved down
Are you
the
looking it
side
up on your
with the
phone
crew
right now?
This one, I don't have access to my email.
Oh, that's okay. Just
So I
look
gotta
up
do
Ben
it the
Affleck new
old-fashioned
haircut.
way.
No, do you have Google, right?
Yeah, I was just going to see if the news article. See if
killing-
the
you're
news
killing-
Stop looking out the
article-
window for Ben Affleck. He's not going to walk by.
Well,
I wanna see
was
this
trying to see
haircut.
what news
He
article
still
she
looks
sent, so I could
pissed
just
about
type it in.
everything, but the hair looks a little bit thinner. I don't know. I don't like this haircut on many people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It looks like
High and tight?
it's high and tight. Yeah. It's flat up top.
It's trying. And
Is that very
doesn't
different than his hair usually?
Yeah, like normally he had kind of a
oh, here we go. Oh, yeah.
longer up top. Yeah, let's see what you
It's
think
got to
about
be a
this.
movie role, right?
We're always looking at the facial expressions.
I mean, he looks very militant.
That does look intense. Hey, he's got a Red Hot Chili Pepper shirt, though, so he must be cool. He must be
He
chill.
looks cool
And
as hell in
shoulder
that
pads.
outfit.
And he's got nice, shoulder pads are legit on that.
So he's playing what?
He may be playing Hulk Hogan coming up in a new, not documentary, but a new movie about Hulk Hogan's sex tape and the lawsuit that ensued with
It does look like he's
Gawker.com.
playing a
Is
wrestler.
he the sex tape?
But could he play Hulk Hogan?
I don't know. So in this
That's weird.
in this shot, he's got striped jeans, a leather jacket, like a pretty bulky
Like a
leather
biker jacket.
Yeah, like super like badass looking. And he's got aviators on in this very I think that's a crew cut, right? Isn't that what you call a crew cut?
Yeah.
So I mean, he looks like he's playing a role. He looks like he's trying to get into Maverick too. You know?
I agree.
I can't see him as Hulk Hogan.
No.
Sorry.
Moving on into movie news, Deadpool and Wolverine had another gigantic weekend at the box office for the second weekend in a row. $97 million domestically, easily taking first place again. The movie has earned $824 million globally. Spoiler alert about Deadpool, by the way. So if you haven't watched it, I am going to talk about something that might ruin it for you. So just go ahead and turn your radio down for a split second. If you've seen Deadpool, you know about the cameos. Wesley Snipes has now broken 2 Guinness World Records thanks to his return as Blade in Deadpool and Wolverine. He now has the longest career as a live-action Marvel character. His return comes 25 years and 240 days after his first appearance in Blade back in 1998. Now, if it wasn't for that cameo, Hugh Jackman would have taken the role. The record for first appearing in X-Men in 2000. Patrick Stewart previously held it for appearing in X-Men and in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in 2022. Snipes also broke the record for the longest gap between character appearances in Marvel. The last time he played Blade was in 2004 in Blade Trinity, which is a gap of 19 years and 231 days.
Other than the taxes thing, right? That was Snipes. Didn't he go to jail for the tax?
I don't know if he went to jail, but he lost a lot of. I think he did go actually for a short time.
Other than that, you never really hear too much about his private life.
No.
You know what I mean? Like every time I think of Wesley Snipes as an actor and not like his roles, I think, where's that guy live?
Right.
Because you never see
What's he doing?
he's not on TMZ. I've never seen a photo. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I've never seen anything of Wesley Snipes other than on screen.
Well, they did a good job. Since the cat's out of the bag. That was definitely the big cameo that got like a big eruption of applause in the theater.
Yeah.
There was a couple.
Yeah.
But that was one of I think that was the one that was the one that Scott Rizzuto goes, "It's Blade." So he told me that. He's like, he didn't ruin it on the air, but he goes, I did it. He goes, I feel like such a nerd. He goes, oh my God, it's Blade. And he goes, I said it out loud. My son goes, shut up.
That was
Just
me
very
laughing on the roller coaster. In 2008, Snipes was convicted on misdemeanor charges of willful failure to file federal income tax returns when sentenced to 3 years imprisonment. After an unsuccessful appeal, he served 28 months in federal prison, was released in April of 2013.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail of Star Wars toys, a super rare 1979 prototype of Boba Fett action figure believed to be the Holy Grail by many collectors, is up for auction.
Oh, the one with the rocket?
Yes, the rocket-firing Boba Fett is one of only 30 ever made. It is the highest graded of the 3 known to still exist. And a couple months ago, a less valuable version of this toy sold at auction for $525,000.
Wow.
So this thing is even more rare, and the auction is being described as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I think they're actually making the starting bid. Yeah, the current bid is $400,000.
Dang.
So if you want to see what it's up to, you can go to golden.co for more information.
I learned about that on the Toys That Made Us, that Netflix series.
Yeah.
And they talked about that because they talked about why it's so valuable.
Yeah, because it went out of, they were going to sell it, but it shot fire, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it shot a rocket. It was like an instant, choking hazard.
Right.
So I don't think they ever got it approved or decided to go with it. So it was only molded like once, or like there was a mold.
30. There's only 30 of them.
Okay, yeah.
It's
I mean, look
crazy.
at that. Who thought that?
That would be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, they did this in what, 1980 or 1979?
79.
I mean, they knew about choking then. I think.
Yeah,
I think it just was created around that point.
I bet you that goes for close to $1 million.
I think so as well. And finally, in What the F News, the real-life farmhouse from the 2013 movie The Conjuring is located in Burleville, Rhode Island, and it's open to visitors. There's a guy named Brian DeSonaru who had been working there until he was abruptly fired last month because he was caught stealing by a ghost. The current owner, this woman named Jacqueline Nunez, claims that the spirit of John Arnold, who owned the home in the 1800s, told her that Brian had swiped $3,000 from a cash box. Nunez is not denying it. Quote, I and every person is entitled to experiences that bring understanding and meaning to our lives, including being informed and warned about wicked actors and actions. Brian denies that he stole anything, and he doesn't think Arnold's ghost would have rat him out like that, saying, quote, for a spirit to go after a staff member in that manner, I've never heard of such a thing in any haunted venue, let alone the Conjuring house.
So this guy gets fired because the gal said a ghost told her.
Yeah, the original owner of this home.
The ghost tattled.
Yeah.
He gets fired. There's no proof.
I guess not.
He says, I didn't do it.
Right. $3,000 was stolen somewhere. Like, was there $3,000 that was stolen?
Right. We haven't even heard that.
We don't even know.
I wonder how that lawsuit's going to go.
I don't know, but
Unlawful termination, right?
by a spirit, yeah.
But, Your Honor, John Arnold, who died in the 1700s,
You're right.
told me, come on, that's not going to...
It's silly. It's WTF. It's the Riz Show, and that was your crap on celebrity.
That's not going to go well. But this ghost said...
The ghost said, all right, your birthdays. Today's birthdays. Lolo Jones is 42, and that's a bobsledder with mesmerizing abs. Jesse Williams is 43. Terry Clark, country singer, she's 56. James Gunn, St. Louis's own, and the Guardians of the Galaxy director, plus a few more movies. He's 58. Jonathan Silverman, also 58. Mark Strong, he's 61, and he's the bad guy in Shazam. You guys remember him.
Mark Strong.
Patrick Ewing, he's 62, the NBA legend. And one of my favorite musicians of all time, Pat Smear, the ex-Foo Fighter, ex-guitarist for Nirvana, and Germs, is 65.
Oh, Mark Strong. So Mark Strong's in Kingsman. I think he's in
Merlin.
one of those Robin Hood ones. Yeah, this guy's got such a badass face.
Yeah.
That can play.
Long-haired guy?
No, bald. He's the bald guy with like the sharp nose. He's like just so cool looking, and he's looked the exact same age for the last 25 years.
Good for him.
And he could play like a real mean good guy or just a really mean bad guy.
He's got a good name for it, too, Mark Strong.
Yeah, he looks like a Mark Strong.
Yeah. Rick Derringer.
Oh, yes.
It's a rock and roll hoochie coo.
He's tiny.
Yeah.
I'm taller than Rick
Really?
Derringer. Yes. He's
He
an
is.
itty-bitty little man.
Oh, no.
And I love him.
All right, 77.
And his name is Derringer?
Real name is not Derringer.
Oh, darn it.
Because isn't that the
Shame.
name of the
Yeah,
tiny
that
gun?
little pistol, the one that...
Rick Derringer. What is his real name?
Oh, that's awesome.
He's aptly named.
Yes, and Lonnie Anderson.
Lonnie.
Lonnie Anderson. Jennifer Marlowe. Oh, I want to see that. I need to revisit that show. WKRP in Cincinnati. She's 79.
You know, his name is Richard Dean Zeringer.
Whoa.
So he just changed it to Derringer. So Zeringer is his last name.
Meant to be.
Lonnie Anderson's hot. Married to Burt Reynolds for a long time. Awakened many a boy's dreams on WKRP in Cincinnati as the secretary.
Oh, I remember her.
Today's pornographic birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia, where fun and fantasy meet, is Jessica James. Today's birthday girl's been in 108 fine films, including The Adventures of Nurse Lick 8. It's a great movie. Ass Cakes.
Oh.
Beaver and Buttface. Big Knockers. Yeah, that was a good one. It was very, very good. I am Cornholio, literally. All right. Big Knockers, 15, 16, 17, and 20.
Wow.
She came back for the entire series. The Chug-a-Lug Girls, 6. Cynthia and the Pocket Rocket, which was the sequel to James and the Giant Peach, didn't do as well. The Girl with the Heart-Shaped Tattoo, Mistress of the Whip, and who can forget her role in 1997, She's My Little Fortune Nookie. Jessica James is 55 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays. And that was your crap on celebrity.
And Sexy Time Fun Facts is brought to you by
Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet.
Okay, have you ever seen the 6-second kissing hack that's supposed to be good for your relationship?
Yes.
Yes. This is where you kiss for 6 seconds
And then you hack.
And then you hack. Yes.
My wife and I were actually just talking about this a couple days ago. It is in the news again after the Associated Press did a thing on it. It's called the Gottman Institute, this place called the Gottman Institute came up with basically what it takes to trigger the release of oxytocin. And they're saying it's a 6-second kiss. That the love hormone that helps us bond with babies, pets, and each other is not going to be done with a quick peck. It's a full 6 seconds. And they say if you do it every day, it can make you feel more connected, increase oxytocin levels, and reduce levels of stress hormone cortisol.
Nice.
The other option is a hug, but it's more than 6 seconds. How long do you think you need a hug to release some oxytocin?
10 seconds.
Longer.
Really?
I'll go 13 seconds.
They say it takes at least 20 seconds of hugging to achieve the same level of connectedness that you would get from a 6-second smooch. The only time they wouldn't suggest it is if you're at each other's throats. If you're already angry, it's not like you can hug it out. And
Wait, how long for the hug?
20 seconds of hugging,
Okay.
6 seconds of kissing.
You guys, is it awkward to give people 20-second hugs?
I'm going to try with Tommy today.
I mean, that isn't your person? Like, is it a...
I don't know. It depends.
mean-
Yeah, if you're doing it to your boss, it's probably strange.
Yeah, it's probably cool, right?
Let me start my timer.
Like if Rafe and I did a 20-second hug, I'll go ahead and say
I would love it.
second 18 and up is going to be strange.
10 seconds in, we got to start squeezing real hard.
Yeah, and maybe
our manhood would feel challenged.
And maybe just like a little bit of hip action.
Yeah.
Just like,
Start rubbing lightly the back.
We're both turning red.
well, I mean, can you imagine hugging anybody in this room for more than 20 seconds?
I'd hug every single person in this room for minutes at a time.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You're a lover, though. You know?
True.
Not a fighter.
And a hugger.
Hammock sex.
No. Just straight up no. What?
Here's a quote. People are sharing the most overrated sexual things from movies and porn, and it's funny because they're right. And the first one is hammock sex.
Never had sex in a hammock. I find that to be quite difficult.
Yeah,
You're on top.
I wouldn't even want to try. I'd be like, we're going to go for this? You want to go with the best scenario possible, and this is just, you're asking for trouble. Points off.
Right.
Somebody said that they thought it would be sensual, rhythmic, or tropical, but it's like two dolphins awkwardly trapped in a tuna net.
Yes.
But it works in the movies every time.
Yeah, I guess so. After dinner sex. Movies make it seem like such a good idea. Quote, it's much better to build the appetite during sex than eat, and then eat. Otherwise, you feel too full and you can't be as athletic as you want.
True that.
Yeah, these dishes aren't going to do themselves, okay? So,
Anything in water. Pools, hot tubs, shower, ocean, all overrated.
Yeah.
yes.
Wet on wet makes dry. Don't know how that works in science, but it's a fact.
My husband asked me this weekend, he goes, have you ever had sex in a hot tub? And I go, no, you're not supposed to. And he's like, what? And I said,
Health.
yeah, you can get urinary tract infections from that stuff because you get all the chemicals and the bacteria that's breeding up in there, all up on you.
Yeah, they're nasty in general. Sex on the beach.
Oh yeah, you get the sand fleas, dude.
Sand fleas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never mind that. It's just sand. Sand is everywhere.
Well, sand
It's
is everywhere, but
nasty.
if you put something down and it's nighttime, the sand fleas will get you.
In a car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get it done.
It's not ideal, but I mean,
You age out
not that-
of car sex. I will say that
For sure.
It is a young person's game.
waterbed. I've never done that.
I mean, just if you're having sex with someone who owns a waterbed, that's your first problem.
Yeah,
Right.
there's
That's your
probably
first red
some other
flag.
issues.
You're dating someone very cool.
Let's see. Holding up somebody against the wall.
I disagree.
They said it's cute in the movies, but it takes too much energy to put into it.
That's true. Still fun.
That is
though.
the hottest thing ever in movies, and then you try to recreate that, and it just never goes as planned, you know? Because it is. One person is literally carrying all the weight of that experience.
You're not going to go long, but I'll take that one off the
Yeah,
list.
it's a great sprint.
I'm taking that one off the list.
You're saying that because of Roadhouse.
Yeah, partially.
Yeah, it's never worked for us. My wife always picks me up, puts me against the wall.
Yeah.
Same.
It happens. Yeah.
Al is pretty strong, though, so I mean, good for her.
Here's some more research coming out, and this says that men married to women who opt to keep their maiden names after tying the knot are often viewed as less masculine and lacking the pants in the relationship, according to researchers. In 2017, a study out of the University of Nevada involved 3 related studies in the U.S. and the U.K. Study authors were hoping to learn how a woman's decision to keep her last name affected how others perceived the husband. The researchers' first 2 studies found that whenever a husband's last name differed from that of his wife's, he was frequently described in ways that both de-emphasized his masculinity and overemphasized any feminine characteristics. Meanwhile, previous research showed that wives who shun the time-tested naming tradition enjoy a number of benefits, including higher social status and perception of power, along with increased self-focus, ambition, and assertiveness. So there you go.
We just had a marriage in Tim's side of the family whenever we went to Wisconsin, and the bride in that marriage, she hyphenated her name. So, and I had the thought, I'm like, I'm down with this, but I also, there's not too many people in my life who have done that, and I wondered how Tim's cousin thought. I'm like, I hope, I'm sure that was a conversation they had, and
Yeah.
everybody's cool, but
I know a few people that hyphenated, but it was more of like a professional thing. And now I'm thinking about it, each one lucked out and had like kind of a cool sound to it. You know what I mean? But if it's something dorky,
yeah.
you almost just go with a cooler name.
Alice Cornwallis Jenkins.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it kind of matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
It
go with
does.
the cooler last name, I guess.
I struggled with this because I'm the last Colvin of my family. So my dad,
Oh, so you
So-
want to hold on to it.
so my dad was the last boy, and so when he had me, my last name was Colvin, and I thought, do I keep it? But my middle name is in honor of my mom's mom, her maiden name, and so I loved that, and I'm like, I really don't want to sound like a law firm. It would have been Lauren Leslie Colvin Elwell, and I was like, that is just too much for me, and so I dropped it, and I thought I was it was like a closure thing with my family and with my dad at that time. This is like 2014. But now I look back and sometimes I wish I had kept a part of that in my name. I know I can go change it any time and throw it back in as a second middle name or whatever. But I thought hard about that and decided to just drop it. But I was the last of my family with that last name. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people keep it and hyphenate it if they are.
It's a cool last name, too.
Yeah,
It's
it
a cool name.
Colvin.
It's got
And it had good alliteration.
Yeah, it's got
Because it had
a
an
good
N on
sound.
both.
For sure.
Lauren Colvin.
Yeah.
Cool name. If you're like, hey, Lauren Colvin's coming over.
Oh, Colvin?
Whoa,
Wow.
okay.
Crazy Colvin?
Crazy Colvin.
Oh, no.
Get her over here. So I get that. I don't remember who it was. There was a comic I was working with about a month ago, and they had a joke that was like, my wife loved me so much, she was willing to hyphenate my last name.
See? And that's what this study's saying.
Everyone did laugh. They're like, my wife was so in love with me and so sure that I was the one she was willing to hyphenate my last name. And I was just like, that's pretty funny.
Well, a record number of men got a bedroom boost with Viagra and erection pills from the National Health Service over in England. They report that doctors dished out more than 4.5 million packs of Viagra last year.
Yeah, man.
4,574,010 Viagra, real name Sildenafil, and all other drugs such as Cialis or Levitra for ED. It surpassed the.
Oh, it's all included?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It surpassed the 4.4 million prescriptions in 2022 and 4.5 million in 2019. Those were the highest before that. Experts think the boom is due to tumbling drug prices, actually. Greater openness about sex problems as well. And one pharmacist said 20 years ago, men would never have discussed ED, but now it's different. Quote, when Viagra first came out, it was a bit sensational, but now there are cheaper alternatives, it's more accessible, and there's less of a stigma. The figures from the NHS Business Services Authority cover subsidized prescriptions in England and do not take into account people buying over the counter, so that there's even more.
Oh, yeah.
Despite prescriptions hitting the high, the NHS bill for the drugs was cheaper than before. Health chiefs paid more than $21 million for the 4.57 million packs, about $4.60 each. I know a dude who is in the porn industry, and he said you build a tolerance, and he's up to like 300 million.
Holy smokes! You're gonna blow your rods and cones in your eyeballs.
And
out,
he even said he goes, dude, he's like, I won't be able to do anything past 50.
Whoa.
I was like, well, why don't you like slow down? He goes, I'm just paying the bills, man.
Remember in Beavis and Butthead, they used to have what was called the Spanish fly in the bathrooms. Then they
yeah, they still have those in some truck stops.
Was it ever called Spanish fly though? Like for real?
I don't know about that.
I feel like that was a Beavis and Butthead brand that came out of
no,
that
Bill
show.
Cosby.
What do you mean?
Spanish fly?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same thing?
We're talking about you could buy it in gas station bathrooms.
Yeah, there was an old the signs of Bill Cosby were
like
always there. He has a bit from the 70s talking about putting Spanish fly in girls' drinks because it would make them horny.
Yeah, it was an
Go look it up.
aphrodisiac for women, and it gave men erections.
Huh.
Yeah.
Bill was giving us some clues of what he was up to in some of his old stand-up. Go watch the Bill Cosby Spanish fly bit and be like, uh-oh.
Oops. Holds up.
So, yeah, it's very real.
Interesting. You still see some of those. At least the boxes are still there.
Really?
I don't know if they're actually. I mean, what do they take quarters before?
Yeah.
And you kind of turn the thing
Horny
and it pops
goat
out,
weed
right?
kind of replace that, I feel like. I see that everywhere in gas stations.
There was a gas station on the way to Springfield on 44 that still had those boxes. And every time we go in, we're like, I wonder if that's still there. Boom, there it is.
Here it is.
Researchers found something interesting with differences between bisexual women and straight women. They noticed that bisexual women are more likely to be open to casual sex and have certain personality traits that are usually more common in men. These traits are often linked to being self-centered, manipulative, and not caring about others' feelings. They call the, quote, dark triad personality traits narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These traits are typically associated with self-centeredness, manipulation, and a lack of empathy. It's important to note that this does not mean all bisexual women are like this. It's just an average trend found in the study. Scientists think this information could help us understand why people are attracted to who they are, especially if they're into open relationships. Basically, they're trying to figure out what makes people tick and, when it comes to love and relationships. A new study making waves about the link between sex and longevity, specifically for women. So listen up. Researchers found that ladies who get busy less than once a week might be at a higher risk of dying earlier compared to those who are more active in the bedroom. It seems that regular sex could have heart-healthy benefits, as we have been told. Women aged 20 to 59 who had sex infrequently less than once a week were at a 70% increased risk for all-cause mortality. That's a huge number. The study author said, quote, sexual activity is important for overall cardiovascular health, possibly due to reduction of heart rate variability and blood flow increase. The team also found that depression, when combined with low sexual frequency, also resulted in a higher risk of mortality. Here's the kicker. It's not all good news for guys. The study also suggests that too much sex could actually be bad for men's health. It's a complicated picture, and we're trying to figure out exactly why this happens. So while it might be tempting to draw some conclusions from this, it's important to remember that correlation does not always mean causation. And like Mama Moon always says, everything in moderation.
Right.
Everything in moderation.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not uncomfortable at all going to this. Thanks, Ma. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Ma.
Rafe, what do you got?
Well, great gift for Ma.
Oh, no.
I got the Soft Kisser Big Mouth Vibrator. Wow! It kind of looks like a Pokemon with Mick Jagger's lips. $59.99 with 4.5 stars. Take Suck by Kiss to a whole new level.
Whoa.
Your desires come to life with the gentle touch of Soft Kisser. Imitating the moves of a lover, this bad boy takes your dirtiest fantasies and brings them to real life, giving you the most delicious, the most unhinged orgasm you've ever had. Whether you use it on your own or let your partner worship you with it, you must prepare for arousal so intense that it's hard to contain. Get licked to breathlessness. Have big O's by this decadent tongue and lip style button kisser and sucker.
Wow.
Use the unique rotating tongue that draws circles around your woohoo as the plump lips create a pump-like seal and sucks you to your core.
Whoa.
Mix and match the 3 distinct licking speeds with 5 licking modes, picking your customized orgasmic adventure.
This thing is so gross looking.
It is not an attractive-looking toy, but
It's good for
It's
mixing
really
sugar with
something,
your
I'll
coffee.
tell you that.
people like it. It's got Mick Jagger's lips. I think I know one lady in our lives who
Let's
might
not
like
talk
it a
about
whole
Jill right now
lot.
on the
All
air.
right.
Let's not talk about my mom.
I didn't say that. You said that.
I know who we're talking about. No.
Well, we're
Mom,
talking
turn the
about
radio
moms.
Oh,
Your mom already turned off the radio and is ordering it from Adam and
She
Eve.
is.
as we
I know.
speak.
This is terrible.
She, as soon as she heard Mick Jagger's lips, she just
goes,
clocked
"What?"
out at work. First review, 5 out of 5 stars. Wet, wet, wet. This toy is truly perfect and should get you there quickly. It's so quiet, soft, and realistic feeling with just the right amount of features to feel exactly like a tongue. The battery stays charged for a while and the app is easy to use. Definitely would recommend ditch the boyfriend or girlfriend and get one of these. They don't talk back or stop as you're just about to finish. Okay.
All right.
Nicoletta I, 5 out of 5 stars. Apparently left someone over this toy.
Whoa.
Next review, 4 out of 5 stars. Exquisite. Doesn't seem like a 4-star review. Exquisite. The amount of pressure to a joyful explosion. My husband loved it as well. Huh?
Really?
We both recommend this toy to any couple willing to experience a magical moment. 4 out of 4 stars. Aletha. And finally, 5 out of 5 stars. Easy pleasure. As a post-menopausal woman who has not been sexually active for years, this particular product proves to be far more enjoyable than the typical generic wand-style vibrators I've used up until now. And it was under my doctor's advice that I ordered this rose mouth-shaped vibrator for my sexual health. I do not wish to dry up like a prune or cease to feel like a woman. This product overall is heavenly bliss. But the sucking mode tends to be too forceful for my sensitive nature. And the battery life is kind of short. I only use it a couple of times per week, and after one, quote, session, if I don't put it back on the new charge, it will be almost dead if I try to use it the next time. It must be charged between sessions. It is very pretty, easy to tuck away in my nightstand, and gives me a little of that human touch experience. The next best thing to the real thing. Highly recommend. 5 out of 5. Noah C9. And that concludes the sex toy of the week.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, that's a really ugly looking one too, man. It's just a little.
Something ain't right.
It looks like.
It looks like a Pokemon that got stuck on the way out.
Kind of, and like a. I don't know if it's Roger Rabbit or something. Like
Jessica Rabbit's lips.
Oh,
The
it's
cart-
the
cartoon bunny lips where it goes and it goes out and looks like a trumpet or something.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. All right, it is 8:29. King Scott, tell me what's happening with traffic and weather.
Your Point Traffic brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Bommarito 500 at the WWT Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal. And the roads are pretty much clear at the moment, so you're all good to go. And your point forecast today, it'll be toasty and sunny with a high of 98 right now. It's 77 at the Point Studio. Your Point forecast brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning, more reliable than your St. Louis weather.
Okay, let's talk about concerts like Five Finger Death Punch and Marilyn Manson, or Green Day and Rancid, Imagine Dragons,
Are these local
Bush.
bands?
These are all big local shows coming up, and we have your tickets to see those. So give us a call, 314-624-3833. That's 314. Nah, dude, we're going to play 3 and 5 next. Yeah, the best singers ever.
Dude, I love
course.
them.
Bob and Bev. Speaking of great singers, we have Bush tickets with Jerry Cantrell coming in Saturday night, August 10th at St. Louis Music Park. And Candlebox is going to be on that as well.
I'm going to that show.
Dude,
Can't wait.
Candlebox was so freaking good when they first played that way back Point Fest. God, dude,
Dude, they're
great. We also have a pair of tickets to give out to Imagine Dragons Friday night, August 16th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Also a pair of tickets to see Green Day, Point Big Summer Show with Rancid, Thursday night, August 15th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and a pair of tickets to Five Finger Death Punch, playing a Point Big Summer Show with Marilyn Manson next Saturday night, August 10th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Today, we play 3 and 5.
Brought to you by Friedrich HVAC Systems. Get serious about comfort and energy savings with Friedrich. Visit Friedrich.com.
Okay, Scott, how confident was everybody feeling today?
I think very confident, right?
Very confident?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. This is not going to be easy because these are very important tickets, and we're kind of running low on time. So let's go straight to the phones. Aspen in O'Fallon. Aspen, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Okay, Aspen, in 5 seconds, you will be naming 3 from the category that Scott gives you. Best 2 out of 3 wins. And if you don't get the tickets, you get the big... No, not that.
Not that.
That's what you get. Okay, I got the timer ready. King Scott, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let me test that out one more time.
That's all good.
Woo. Okay, we're ready. Here we go. Aspen.
In 10 seconds.
In 5 seconds.
5 seconds, name 3 classic literature authors.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Could have been a Shakespeare. Could have been a.
The timer was a little loud. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Could have been a Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Could have been Mark, Paul, and John.
Could have been Mark Twain.
Amen.
Yeah, classic.
Yep.
It's classic.
classics.
Authors, classic
Yeah.
writers. I guess you're right. Okay. Get it here.
All righty. In 5 seconds, name 3 space missions. 3.
Dude, stay on the phone.
We called.
He hung up. I was going to give it to him because you said, "Meh."
It's just a space mission.
What in the world
Scott's
is
drunk
that?
again.
God, dude.
Hey, buddy, this is how you going next space mission. Hey, you don't know me know you.
Name 3 alcohols. God, hey, Aspen, call back because Scott got you there. Bobby in Manchester, what's up, Bobby?
What's up, fellas and ladies?
What up?
Hey, Bobby. Okay, in 5 seconds, name 3 of these categories. Best 2 out of 3, right? King Scott, please speak English.
I will. All right. In 5 seconds, name 3 job titles.
Mechanic, doctor, nurse.
Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
Holy
a buzzer beater,
I
but
think
you
beat
got
the
it.
buzzer.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
Thank God.
All
All right, on the
Panic.
board, Bobby.
That was an waiting to happen, and he didn't panic. Impressive.
It really was.
All righty. In 5 seconds, name 3 iconic skyscrapers.
Oh, man, wrong blank.
Could have been the Empire State Building. The Space Needle. Would that have counted?
The arch.
I mean, I think the arch counts, yeah.
All right.
Gosh, yeah.
Okay, comes down to this.
All righty. In 5 seconds, name 3 world currencies.
Yen, dollar, peso.
Oh, did he get
I
it?
think he got it. I heard pesos was coming
It was
out.
on the buzzer. Does that count?
We'll give it to you, Bobby.
All right, guys.
What tickets do you want?
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
That's a hot ticket.
Hang tight. Friday night, August 16th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Let's go to Abby in St. Louis. Abby, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing okay. Okay. Are you prepared for 3 and 5?
It's prepared as gonna be.
Okay, good. We had a slow start, but now we're rolling. Let's go.
Abby, in 5 seconds, name 3 traditional dances.
Cha-cha. Yes, I forgot.
Dang. I thought she was going to have a tango, salsa,
Macarena.
two-step. A little bit of two-step. Okay, Abby, bounce back here.
All right, 5 seconds, name 3 types of fabric.
Cotton, polyester, linen.
Fine.
Does that
Good
count?
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it counts.
I think so.
Yeah, it's different than cotton.
Okay. All right. It comes down to this.
You wear a polyester suit to a wedding, it's a lot different feel than a linen.
It is.
All right, 5 seconds, name 3 famous pirates.
Hook, sparrow.
And we've had that one before.
Hook,
You could have
Bummer.
done Van Slyke,
Barry
Vanilla, Bonds.
Yeah.
Chandler in Weldon Springs. Chandler, what's up?
How's it going?
All right, here we go. 3 and 5. 3 in 5.
Chandler, in 5 seconds, name classical literature characters.
Huckleberry Finn.
Oh, man. It's
That's
one
a
of
good
those
one.
where you get out
Deserves it.
with an answer immediately, and then it's over.
Hold on. All
All
right,
right, bounce back.
In 5 seconds, name 3 rare plants.
Dragon fruit.
Goodbye, Chandler.
Goodbye.
Is Robert?
Jeremy in O'Fallon.
That was a hard one because rare. That really throws you off.
Yeah, it does. Jeremy, how you doing, man?
Fine, how are you?
Doing okay. All right, let's get 3 and 5 here on speakerphone.
All right, Jeremy, in 5 seconds, name 3 traditional musical instruments.
A violin.
Oh, man, another one right out of the gate. Gets one and
All
then
right,
freezes.
this is, not-
Bounce back, Jeremy. Deep breath. Here we go.
Here's an easy one. In 5 seconds, name 3 famous detectives in literature.
Harry Bosch. Alex Cross.
Tough one, too.
Yeah, that one's not an easy
I
one.
had Sherlock, Watson,
Holmes.
Dick Tracy.
Pink Panther.
Acceptable.
And literature's the hard part.
Yeah, they're all in
Yeah,
literature
but
at
they're
some
all-
point, right? All you got to do is think of
If
one
you
of them.
think
Yeah, like
about
the
it.
books based on the movie. I love them.
Hardy Boys. Nancy Drew.
Oh,
Nancy
yeah.
Drew.
Encyclopedia Brown.
Give these
Technically,
next,
Boxcar Children, right?
give 3 to Learn right here. Ready, Learn?
Okay.
Okay,
Here we
well,
go.
Let's see if we got it. In 5 seconds, Learn. Name 3 movie franchises.
Oh,
See ya.
Iron Man. What?
Oh,
I was
see
like,
ya.
wait a minute. I went to AMC. I was like, AMC, Warenberg. I was like, wait a minute. That's not what.
And you
Turn
said,
it
oh,
around.
shucks. Oh,
Back it up,
sunk it.
Terry.
Here you go.
All right. In 5 seconds, name 3 breakfast cereals.
Lucky Charms, Captain Crunch, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. My wheelhouse.
Okay.
By the way, bought a special Lucky Charms this weekend that was s'mores. Half of the box is gone. So,
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
yeah.
Someone gave us, man, some Pillsbury Cinnamon Toast Crunch soft baked cookies. Minis. Go
Yum.
find those somewhere.
Okay.
Good.
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Can I go down
Back
the
to you.
list? 'Cause
What
there's-
tickets will you be going? Will you be getting? if
I
you
would
get
like
this
to go to
right?
Hailstorm, please.
Okay.
We don't have Hailstorm tickets.
I would like to go to
Metallica?
Metallica.
Okay,
No,
we do have those. Go ahead.
Can I go down here?
Whichever one you want.
All
You're the
right,
host.
Fantastic. Alrighty, Learn. In 5 seconds, name 3 types of birds.
a finch, a cardinal, and a robin.
Oh, no Larry?
Whoa. You
That was good.
are going to see Metallica.
Thank
Wow.
you so much.
Well done, Bobby and Lern.
That was a big day.
Oh, what a disaster. 8:49.
Movie franchise is going to haunt me for the rest of the day. Damn you, Scott.
And you just went and saw one, too.
I know, Deadpool.
All right, it's 8:50.
Charlie's
King Scott,
Angels.
Tell me about traffic and weather.
Oh, your point traffic. I'm glad you brought that up. Brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Bomberito 500 at the WWT Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal. And it looks like the roads are still pretty clear. You guys are doing great out there. And your point forecast today, It's going to be hot and sunny with a high of 98. Right now, it's 80 at the Point Studio. Your Point forecast brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable than St. Louis weather.
We're going to do news up next. But, guys, today is a special day. It is National Underwear Day.
Nice.
I'm going to tell you.
I forgot mine.
That's right. I'm going to tell you all about it. Thanks, Tom. Today is National Dash Cam Day. Yes, National Dash Cam Day.
Oh, wow.
August 5th. Held to raise awareness about various road safety precautions. A dash cam is a small in-car camera positioned on the windscreen that records everything in front and, in some situations, behind the driver. When involved in an accident, it can be as an objective witness, while also saving drivers money on their insurance. Most dash cams also feature a parking mode that can record events and act as a deterrent to theft and damage when you're not in the vehicle. You know, you see all these dash cam videos from Europe and especially Eastern Europe and all that. It's like the standard over there. Does anybody know anybody with a dash cam?
No, my theory is if you have one, you're going to see big accidents and a lot of road rage.
Because those are the only clips that you see?
Yeah. You never see the peaceful ones, so I decided not to go for it.
I just don't know anybody that has one.
Yeah, same.
No, I know that they're really valuable because I know in Europe it's really big for the scams. You know, if somebody coming over to hit you, then claiming you rear-ended them. So I know that's good, but
I guess I take it back. I do know a few people that have them, but they drive for a living. It's Uber drivers, and it's usually a dash cam that's going inside for their protection in case somebody messes with them from the back seat.
That makes sense.
This is talking about dash cam that's facing forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, today we celebrate. It's also National Underwear Day, so let us briefly tell you why we love underwear.
Hey.
Keeps us from jiggling in public by covering our unmentionables. Plus, underwear appears in nearly every single culture. Today, it's in all colors, sizes, and fabrics, so all hail our underwear on National Underwear Day. Originally created by the brand Fresh Pair in 2003 as a campaign promoting a positive body image. Although men were part of the initiative as well, the focus was more on women and how society perceived their body image. This was during a time when being confident in one's bare skin was somewhat a new concept. Market trends were rapidly changing. The movement went viral, and National Underwear Day has been celebrated on August 5th every year since. The first underwear dates back to prehistoric times, with humans wearing a loincloth. During the Middle Ages, men wore linen shorts or bras, and women wore a shift under their dresses. In Britain, pants were long drawers covering the whole leg. Panties is a form of pants.
Oh, cute.
I saw this list, this whole thing. I started looking up different days, because they're always talking about Banana Day or Underwear Day or Elbow Day or whatever. I have a list of all the August monthly celebrations, weekly events, and then the calendar holidays by day. Firstly, the August monthly celebrations. The month of August is Admit You're Happy Month. Like you've been fighting it. So Admit You're Happy Month. It's also Family Fun Month. It's Dog Days of Summer from July 3rd to August 11th. It's Golf Month.
Sweet.
It's Happiness Happens Month. It's International Pirate Month.
Nice.
Whoa.
It's National Catfish Month. National.
Dude, I'm going to trick someone online.
Oh, that kind of catfish, huh?
Can't wait.
Yeah, well, it's okay because it's August.
Yeah,
it's August.
Celebrating it.
National Eye Exam Month. It's Peach Month.
Exam.
Which, by the way, the peaches and the nectarines right now.
Oh, top notch.
I mean, just they're falling right off those pits.
Yep.
It's Picnic Month. It's Romance Awareness Month, and it's Water Quality Month.
Romance.
Romance.
Poop can awareness month.
Did I have a list?
Yeah, a little list.
God dang.
Hey,
It's poop can awareness month, please.
It happens.
I can't say Simone Biles. I can't.
You said it.
I
You really
did.
cannot. No, she did not.
No,
I
was
noticed
gonna
it and I
say
didn't bring it up.
I have
but
a
you-
real hard time, and I love that
Simone.
girl.
You call her Simone.
Simone. I have issues. We're
Simona.
professional radio broadcasters.
Simone. That's so funny.
Be aware of the romantic gift. It's important.
It's part of me, okay?
It exists.
I
in the
am as
world.
God made me, sir. I printed out a whole bunch of holidays by the day just to see what was happening, what was coming up. Today is Underwear Day. It's also National Oyster Day. You guys see this whole list? I mean, tomorrow is National Fresh Breath Day. It's also Root Beer Float Day and Wiggle Your Toes Day.
Yeah.
Are there any that are jumping out at
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Because there's some ridiculous ones in here.
Dude, International Cat Day, August 8th. Please, I'm taking that day off.
Wait, Catfish and Cat Day?
Yes.
Oh.
It's Catfish Month and International Cat Day. on
Golly,
August 8th.
what a month they're having.
Also, August 10th, National S'mores Day. My
Yeah.
favorite of all time.
Dude, did you also notice on August 10th, it's Middle Child's Day?
Congrats. Finally, you guys have your own day.
Boo.
Let's see. Son and Daughter Day on the 11th. Left-Handers Day is August 13th.
Right on.
You know, we like our
That's
left-handers.
my wife.
She's a lefty?
Yep, not fully developed.
August 18th, Bad Poetry Day. Also National Fajita Day. Rafe, you'll love this. August 16th is National Tell a Joke Day.
Oh, wow.
Roller Coaster
Get
Day is
booked.
also on that day. Senior Citizens, August 21st. We have a good
Adorable.
demo of seniors out there. August 22 is Be an Angel Day. Aw, be an angel.
August 26th is Women's Equality Day. Finally, one day, ladies.
Oh, and
We have our one damn day.
And can you believe it? It falls also on National Toilet Paper Day.
Of course it does.
You gotta be
Little
kidding me. Oh,
Wow. Lucky.
Of
that
course
is
it does.
that is ridiculous.
And Dog Day.
And yeah, National
National Dog
Bitch
Day?
Thank you. Yes, the
National
jokes write
Dog
themselves.
Day. Hey, congrats on your equality, bitches.
You think National
messed up.
You think National Cat Day would have been on that, but no, they had to.
Yeah.
They had to really stick it
They
home there.
did.
Dude, that's awesome.
Stuffed green bell peppers day. I'm into that. August 28th. Sign me up.
All right.
I want to do
Oh, yeah. We gonna do some news.
News brought to you by.
Energy Stars Heating and Cooling, preferred partner of Ameren, Illinois, to make your home more comfortable and affordable.
A North Carolina man said the message inside a fortune cookie inspired him to buy the lottery ticket that earned him $200,000.
Wow.
John Carter, not to be confused with the Disney John Carter,
Darn it.
told North Carolina Education Lottery officials that the $5 pot of gold ticket he bought from Hillsville Country Mart and Hillsville Road in Trinity was inspired by his dinner. Quote, "We had Chinese food last night and I got a fortune cookie. And it said, don't miss out on your chance to win big. So he decided the cookie was telling him to try his luck at the lottery. I was thinking the fortune cookie was a sign. He said it had to be fate. And then he said he was absolutely shocked when he scratched off the $200,000 prize. I started seeing 000 and I thought this has to be a dream. Carter said his plans for his winnings include paying off some bills and buying a boat.
Right on.
Buying a boat for fishing.
Hope one of his plans is to see if he has any family members out there. Like they doesn't
In
know
Missouri?
about. Yeah.
There's a new thievery etiquette in L.A. Polite burglars who steal and show regret. There were 10 businesses burgled and vandalized in the city of San Fernando over the last few nights, and cops think it's just one guy because the thief is targeting businesses and then leaving an apology note.
Oh.
This dude said, quote, sorry, needed, $ for drugs, won't come back.
Oh, okay. Well,
Politeness aside, the thief was so nice. One business owner told the news station in L.A. that the burglar left broken glass everywhere, and then he trashed the cash register, took the bills, left the coins. Stuff was strewn everywhere. That same night, he hit other businesses and security cams, caught him writing the note, but at least he left a nice note.
yeah, I don't know. I'm having a hard time really finding the remorse. You know, the note's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I just love that he's smashed in windows and dismantled a cash machine on his way out. He goes, I should leave a note.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel kind
That's
of bad.
That's kind of rude if you think about it, if I don't leave a note.
Right.
But if I leave a note,
Maybe
they'll
they'll
get
understand. Right.
Sorry, need money for drugs, won't come back. A Florida senior citizen was arrested after lassoing a 9-foot gator and tying it up to a handrail before bolting.
Imagine a murderer doing that, by the way.
What's that? Leaving
Just
a note?
like, sorry, bloodlust got the better of me. Won't come back.
Won't
Like
be back.
an axe has a Post-it note in someone's
Right.
chest.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry. Somebody tied up a gator. What happened?
Yeah, Bob
Sorry,
Collin,
man.
Robert Collin, 71, slapped with a felony charge for illegally endangering an alligator. He's accused of using a nylon rope. He lassoed the gator around its upper jaw and then tied it to a handrail above a canal in his hometown of Cape Canaveral. He bizarrely contacted deputies around 7:30 a.m. to report that he had found the reptile tied up before fleeing the scene. Surveillance footage of a nearby like a building that's operated by SpaceX caught him, and it showed him creating a loop with a nylon trap and then trapping the gator and tying him up. He was arrested at his home, booked the same day on a charge of illegal killing, possessing or capturing an alligator. Yes, he posted bond, and yes, the alligator was put down.
Wow. What a D.
Why?
I hate these stories. I hate them. I mean, and you think about it. Okay, he did that to the alligator. That's terrible for the gator. Then somebody has to come, another human being has to come and figure that whole thing out. Either how to untie it, and then it's wild, and possibly they're going to get bitten.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting somebody else in danger. You're putting the gator in danger. I hate people.
That is not
I love
how-
people, but I hate these kind of
That
people.
is not how you cosplay Steve Irwin.
No.
You jump on his back and ride him like a...
But it was impressive he could do the lasso thing.
It is impressive that
that's
he
a
could make a
skill.
lasso. That's true, Scott.
Let's see. Not everybody's loving, how everything's digitized. A lot of people want their books. They want their magazines. They want their letters.
Yeah.
Tons of
Tangible.
paperwork. But there's one major advantage. Gnarly paper cuts. Pretty much gone. When's the last time you had a paper cut? And we use paper every day.
I get them about at least once a month. I'll have a new one because I these stupid. Whenever you freshly print out a paper, it seems like they're sharper then.
Oh, man.
You're the only one bleeding because apparently researchers have conducted a lot of experiments on paper cuts, and to spare themselves the pain, they actually use like a gelatin replica of human tissue, so they don't have to. They're not just slicing their finger webbing. As you might guess, some paper thicknesses are less dangerous. Flimsy, thin stuff like tissue paper and heavy, thicker stuff like postcards are less likely to cut. So what's the worst paper? A thickness around 65 micrometers was the paper cut sweet spot. The dot matrix printer paper from the most treacherous, dot matrix printers. Do you remember those things?
Yeah.
Those were absolutely the worst, followed by certain magazines and books. So there were certain magazines that cut people worse than others.
Dang.
I hate the freaking paper cup
I know.
feeling.
I'm saying it. You guys are making faces.
And 65 micrometers. That's pretty big, right?
Remember having it? Are you talking about the paper that we had to tear the sides of it off? Remember, it used to come through that printer.
Yeah, put the dot matrix paper.
The dot matrix paper. You know what I'm talking about? And it
Put it
had
up
the
on the
holes
table.
in it.
Yeah, you had to tear the little, like when you open those envelopes that still come in the mail.
Yeah.
And do you think the
What a weird thing.
cardboard boxes we're now getting for shipping are causing more cuts?
Ultra paper cut.
Well,
What
if
do
you're
you mean?
tearing through it like some sort of delivery savage, yes.
Yeah, there's the dot.
Which I
there's-
hate.
talking
That's
about.
the dot matrix stuff.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
That was the good stuff.
That was so cool. Like my
Yeah.
mom used to work for Crown Line Boats, and she'd worked her ass off, and we'd be there like overnight. I'd be sleeping in my mom's office, and she would be printing out orders, and she'd be like, "Lauren, go ahead and peel off all those." So I had my little job where I was peeling off all the paper
Yeah.
on the side of those dot matrix papers, and paper cutting up my childhood.
Yeah,
Back to you.
I don't miss any. I don't miss any of the paper cuts. It's been a long time. So knock on wood.
I'd like them to go bye-bye.
Ford slogan "Built Ford Tough" may be evolving into "Built Ford Tough on Crime." Because Ford is actually trying to patent a system that they developed that would automatically report speeding vehicles to the police.
Narc.
People are gonna be mad about this.
Wow, that's cool.
Not the Ford vehicles themselves, but they're using an onboard camera to snitch on other drivers, not on you.
Uh-huh.
An equipped Ford vehicle could send a report with speed data and pictures directly to law enforcement and roadside monitoring units. The cops would also use GPS info to help track the offender. This totally, there's a little quote here that says, "This totally seems like something Buick would do, but not Ford."
That's right. It does seem like something
Yeah.
Buick would do.
No, Buick likes the open road, man.
So-
Yeah, I got that new Ford stool pigeon. It's got a V8, and it narcs on all my friends.
Yeah,
Is that the new
it's really
Tattler?
cool.
You got the new
Yeah,
Tattler up
new
in there?
Tattler.
Rattles and
Oh,
tattles.
that's
Off-road
sweet.
Tattler,
Oh, does that Tattler flare side?
Oh,
Damn, brother.
Oh, you got
Way
a
to be
front
a hero.
Tattler and a back Tattler?
Ooh.
That's cool, man.
For now, they're just trying to secure the patent. They haven't installed this technology in any vehicle, so don't start
How do
thinking
you
that.
spell stocks dropping instantly and no one buying Ford anymore?
I could hear I could imagine somebody hearing this and getting pulled over and being like, "Who did it?
Yeah.
Who told?"
Did it?
This is ridiculous.
Was it that probe?
Yeah, it had to be the
Ford
If there's a
probe.
Ford probe around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Lee.
Oh
it's the
my
probe.
goodness! By the way, so they haven't installed it at all, and even if they do, there's obviously going to be a legal debate since an officer wouldn't be there to witness the violation. There's already stationary speed cameras, but they can only issue tickets based on a license plate number, and because they can't confirm who's driving. So there's going to be a lot of arguments about this. But just know that the patent is they're trying to secure the patent. So
Thank you so much. That's something we desperately need.
I know. I wish Riz was here to talk about this. We did a little bit of back to school shopping this last weekend. That was another part of the adventure. And if you have more than 2 or 3 kids in school, you might need to sell a kidney this month because a back to school shopping survey found it's costing parents an average of $586 per child. You guys feel bad for me yet or what?
I do feel bad.
Just add that up. You guys know.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I can't imagine.
We're not eating.
36 grand?
We're not eating until November. Peanut butter and jelly for the next couple months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that is actually down from last year when it was $597. Now, honestly, our biggest expenses are all the sports and all the activities. All that stuff costs so much money.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what they're doing now? My daughter was talking about this yesterday. You know the fundraisers, like you were in sports, and we all did the fundraisers,
Yeah,
right?
selling candy bars and whatnot.
Candy bars. We did the pizzas.
The popcorn.
Popcorn for Boy Scouts and all that kind of stuff. My daughter goes, "Oh yeah, we're having our call-a-thon coming up this week."
Oh.
I was like, "What the heck is that?" She's like, "I'm literally just calling people for money." I was like, "What happened to chocolate
Like
bars?"
the 80s?
I guess so.
Was
I
it
guess
like a fishing thing?
they're
Like
all,
on PBS?
no, this for her team. They're all getting together and they're doing a call-a-thon where they're just calling relatives and saying, "Grandma, give us $100."
People are going to be thinking they're getting punked or something or scammed.
From little old 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can mimic the voice.
Yes.
Be careful with this. They can
Just be
copy
careful
the
out
voice.
there.
Yeah.
Well, 2/3 of parents say that they've already done most of the shopping. It was last month just to get the best deals, Amazon Prime Day back in July. Here's a few more quick back-to-school shopping stats, though. Parents spend the most on clothing and accessories. Tech is next, so things like new computers, tablets, school supplies are third. 61% say that their kid usually manipulates them into spending a lot more than they wanted to.
Yes.
That's a fact. There's a good chance that you're not just shopping for your kid. 50% of parents admit they usually end up shopping for themselves as well. And number 3 is when we can't afford it all, our top 2 tactics are using coupons and opening a new credit card. 77% of parents say their kids' education is something they're willing to go into debt for. I don't know, man. A lot of college talk around our house because this kid's about to be a sophomore, and I forgot that it's sophomore year that they actually start doing all the work.
Right.
Start visiting schools, start doing ACTs, do all the prep courses, all this kind of stuff. So it is go time in our house.
Wow.
And we have one that's
Any interest in schools?
she's trying to go to Yale.
Damn.
And we're broke from the Midwest and have nobody that have gone to any colleges beyond Kansas City. So
I got a connection
Is
at
she
Yale.
applying to Yale?
yeah,
I do have a connection at Yale Community College.
it's gonna take grades. It's gonna take
Who do you know?
It's going to take Aunt Lern pitching in.
I will.
It's going to take some call-a-thons.
Oh, we got a yeller out there is that what they're called?
Yes.
That'll hook you up.
It's
Hey, you
Old
invite me
Yeller.
to a grad party, dude. I can eat everything. Here's $100.
it's going to be an interesting year for sure. But yeah, she's trying to go to Yale, and there's a couple other on the East Coast. Like, I mean, everything she says just
Cornell.
goes exactly. She's going to visit there in a couple months.
Every time she says it, you go, oh.
Every school she says,
feels
dude,
like you're being hammered in the ground like an
yes,
old cartoon.
Yes, every school she says, my heart just goes, ah.
Is there any?
Oh God.
Do any of those end in state?
Right.
Yeah.
Just say one that ends in state.
You know what? This kid's brilliant though, and she's got a 4.0. She's got all the extracurriculars. I mean, she's doing everything by the book.
Okay.
By the book. As far as what you can do to go to a great school, she's doing everything perfectly. It's the rest of it. It's all the other stuff, like the fact that we're not East Coasters or have no family that have ever gone Ivy League or any of that. I don't know our way around that. And I know there's a lot of recruiters out there that try to help you out, but it's going to be a busy year. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be a big one. It's the Riz Show. You can always get a hold of us, 314-624-3833. Watch us on the Mick Ultra studio cams, now live and always live every minute that we're on air here on the Points YouTube channel. And, of course, you can email us anytime, all the time, rizshow@1057thepoint.com. So let's lean right into it. Rafe, how about some emails?
Let's do it. Emails brought to you by Kloss Furniture. The lowest price is guaranteed. We've got something for everybody. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
I missed the EPC event, but my wife and I had our baby Cleo Ray at Progress West Friday night.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, man. Listen to Rafe's in memoriam while she was in labor. How did that go over? I'm curious. It was the benchmark for when things got serious. I bet it was. I bet it was. She looked at me and said, "Turn that ish off." I bet she did. And I knew it was business time. We both love the show and all the bits and games. Finally get to listen live, at least for the next couple weeks while I'm off work. Thanks for the laughs and for the chaos. Well, congratulations to you on Cleo Ray from
Congrats.
the Rizzuto Show.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
What a way to come into the world, listening to me register complaints about complaints. That kid's born to be a comic. All right. Hey, all.
Hey.
Just heard the story about the dad and his son not going to Harvard. For those of you not familiar, we had a story last week about a dad who was fourth-generation Harvard. Son was in love, was going to go to SIU Carbondale to follow a girl. Dad not happy about it.
Yeah, the family was upset. They were all like, this kid, the plan for this kid since he was born was to be a fourth-generation Harvard legacy. And everything was set. This dude had worked it. I mean, everything was gold. And he fell in love, and the girl said, "Follow me to SIUE."
Carbondale. SIUC. Carbondale.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, hey, all, just heard the story about his son not going to Harvard to be with the white trash SIU girl. Got me thinking. My daughter goes to SIU, and her idiot boyfriend is starting there with her in the fall. He's from a wealthy family in Pennsylvania, and I'm not 100% sure that emailer could be his dad. We live in Southern Illinois, and we are pretty trashy, to be honest, LOL. So he could be referring to us.
Oh, wow.
Never know. Great show, 3 out of 5 stars.
Yes.
That is great.
Incredible.
I mean, yeah.
I hope that's legit.
That guy
Oh,
that hit the
man.
internet was doing it, I think, from the East Coast. So he probably wasn't thinking it was going to get this far. And
Yeah.
then we talk about it in the area. It could be.
Hilarious.
Could be
mean,
your kid.
At this point, I would say it is more likely that he is talking about you than
Right.
that he's not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Could be a coincidence, but
Sweet.
I'm curious. I'd like a follow-up email. Where exactly are you from in Southern Illinois? That's very important to me. It didn't say in the email. But you know what? Hey, score 1 for so ill trash people like
That's
myself.
Our people.
And let us know. All you got to do is ask, where did his dad go to school?
Yeah.
And if his dad's a Harvard grad,
Yeah, if you find out his dad went to Harvard,
That's
it might be time for you to fight this guy's dad.
Yep.
Which, honestly, could work out for the Harvard dad. You get in a fight with the trashy dad, maybe the son's like, all right, well. But, hey, congratulations on your daughter laying down that good loving. Getting a Harvard, having somebody turn down a Harvard scholarship.
Yeah, worth more than Harvard.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's hilarious.
All right.
All right, next. Hello, fellas and gal.
Hey.
Question: how would you feel if you found out that somebody you knew was constantly commenting their opinions, usually hating, on celebrity social media posts? I started talking to this guy, and because I now follow him on Instagram, IG will automatically show me his comments when I'm scrolling. And he's out there being a straight-up hater to celebrities who will never even read his comments. For example, he commented on Cardi B's post saying he hates her long fingernails and doesn't know how she gets anything done. 0 likes. He's just talking to himself. And I'm like, ew, what? Understand if you have a thought that pops into your head, but to me, it's like kind of embarrassing. I don't know. I just got the biggest ick, and I feel like I should run. LOL. What do you guys think? For the record, I'm 27, and he's 31 years old.
Yeah, that's a red flag.
Sure.
I would take
Dude.
off running. I think it is so, because you do see that if you're on Instagram, the people you
Cue
follow.
up the button.
You see, you see comments from people, and like people see my comments sometimes, but I rarely will comment on something that I hate. It's
Yeah.
usually something in support of. But yeah, when you start seeing those comments, it's a red flag, especially if he's just calling out a certain type of person or, you know.
Dude, do you remember when Twitter? I don't think it's like this anymore. But when you would heart something or like something or whatever the heck it was like saving it and showing other people. And
Right.
a lot of people were getting in trouble because they were like hearting porn and they didn't realize that stuff was public.
Yes.
I think a lot of people on Instagram don't realize that like you're not in a sea of 140,000 comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if somebody follows you and follows them,
Yes.
you're the top comment
Right.
for them. And I think a lot of people don't know that.
They probably don't.
My favorite thing to do, and I'm upset Instagram doesn't let you do it, is to just screenshot a completely hypocritical comment and just put it underneath the comment that they, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah, post a
that's
photo.
what I love about Facebook. Be like, this you, bro? You know, because people forget that they've said these horrible, horrible things, or their profile will be like lover of the Lord and peace and love, and it'll be like kill yourself on the comments. And I'm
Right.
like, hey, this you, man? Lover of the Lord, peace and love? Run.
Yeah,
Jordan
run.
is what I would say. This guy's 31 years old. All people who comment like that come from a place of wild insecurity, self-loathing,
And narcissism.
narcissism, and it is only a matter of time before they turn the gun on you. So get the hell out of there, because as soon as he feels comfortable, those are the kind of comments you're going to start receiving.
Yep.
So, and if he tells you I'm just trolling, it's like a fun thing I do, don't buy it.
What a terrible hobby.
What a terrible hobby. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what a strange thing to get caught up in. And think about, like, they're just sitting there just going from thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
Talking about, it wasn't even like a, what did he say, something about the fingernails? Like, how do you get
Yeah.
work done? Weird.
Especially if, and he's attacking women.
That's
It
what I
seems
mean.
like he's getting on women's posts. So bear that in mind, too. Successful women. So if you have plans for yourself, know that that's how he views. And I'm not saying like Cardi B is beyond reproach, but yeah, run. That's a bad juju, bad sign. That's not a red flag. That is a,
Stop
that is
sign.
yeah. That is a red armada of sails on the seas for you to sail away from.
All right, you got one more?
Yeah.
Let's do one more.
Let's see what we got here. This is one I want to do while Lern's here, so let's do this one. Happy birthday, Riz. He's not here, but
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
happy birthday. I've sent a few emails over time, but I'm seriously confused. I feel like Lern and Moon would be able to help at least a little. I grew up holiness Pentecostal, and I have never been in a gay/bisexual relationship, but after being married twice and divorced from both wives, I tried last night to come out as truly bisexual to my current girlfriend, who full well knew I was just by comments I made and shows we've watched together.
Okay.
She didn't believe me. It was literally a joke to her. I'm a top. To be clear, I am bi. I love cooch. I don't know if I can say that on the radio. I hope I can.
We'll just leave it.
But I also can appreciate a good-looking schwanz.
Schwanz.
I want to be honest about my orientation, but my parents, my girlfriend, my friends, coworkers don't want to believe or even hear what I have to say. I can't imagine telling my parents, let alone my girlfriend, again. To everyone, I seem straight. I'm not sure how, though. Why am I only quote-unquote straight-sounding guy that everyone in my life thinks they understand?
I think bisexuality is the most, like, people are the most confused, you know, because it's like you're not stuck in one spot, you know. I'm totally down with bisexuality. I was having this conversation yesterday with my husband, oddly enough, where there was a time whenever I was in middle school where I was like, am I gay? Like, I had this thought. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I find like girls pretty, but I don't know if it's, do I want to kiss them or do I want to look more like them? I'd been boy crazy from the start of my life. I knew that. I mean, I am very heterosexual. But, you know, I do find women attractive. And like Margot Robbie is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life.
Sure.
But if Margot Robbie came up to me and she's married and hetero as well. But let's say she was like, I want to kiss you. Like, I would
do
be
it.
down to kiss Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
So I guess that's bi-curious. I don't know. But I don't think I could have sex
Is
with a
it,
woman.
or is it just down to kiss Margot Robbie?
I think I'm just down to kiss
doesn't
Margot
always
Robbie.
mean
I'd kiss all the Hemsworth brothers.
Well, yeah.
Just for the story.
Well, but so, and I'm not trying to overstep my heterosexuality into the bisexual waters. Trust. But I do find women attractive, but I don't think I could have sex with a woman. That's all.
with this guy's quote-unquote dilemma, if he's dating a gal and he feels attracted to fellers as well, is that something that he needs to tell his parents? Like, what is there a need to tell your parents your orientation unless it's going to be confusing to them?
Well, if you're going to pursue, it sounds like maybe he's already had relationships with men.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
as well.
All of my relationships are not my parents' business necessarily. You know what I'm saying? And until they are, until like
Right.
I'm bringing somebody in the family,
Sure.
or you know, I'm dating them seriously. If you're dating a feller, sure, you got to have a conversation with your parents and be like, "Hey, I'm bisexual.
I'm
This is what-
introducing you to my
This is what it
mans."
means."
Right.
But if he's not, I don't even understand where the parents are in that stuff. And maybe I'm wrong. I'm asking for
Yeah.
education here. Like, it doesn't seem something that's important enough to stress about.
Let me tell you why it is important. And I get what you're saying, but it is because when people talk to you about hypotheticals, you know, maybe at his home and they're talking about, well, one day whenever you get married to a girl, maybe they're insinuating like, oh, he's hetero. And so they only acknowledge any hypothetical future stuff with a woman. And maybe he's thinking, well, I don't know if I will marry a man or a woman or have a family with a man or a woman. So maybe there's that sort of communication that's open. And it's just another part of who you are that I get what you're saying. Like, if you're not being serious with somebody, like, who you're having sex with is not necessarily your parents. They don't need to know if it's not serious. But then if you're bringing somebody home to dinner and you want to introduce them to your family, then it's time to talk about it. But I don't know. I think it's if you want to open up even more of yourself. I mean, it is such a hot topic these days. Everybody wants, we all just know. I mean, I know who my gay friends are and my trans friends. And I know, you just know. It's more of, it's being talked about more and more. I don't think that's necessarily
Sure.
a bad thing. I think if you want to disclose that to your loved ones and your people that are around you.
I don't think
that's
it's a bad thing either, and it is being talked about so much more. But what I'm saying is, I think some people feel like the need to talk about it because they think they're supposed to, and I'm sure I have a ton of bisexual friends or gay friends and straight friends, and like I don't, none of it matters to me. I don't care. I'm not even thinking about it
Right.
to be like, I wonder who you're attracted to. I've never thought about it.
Maybe it matters to them in terms of identity. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
wanting to be seen, wanting to
see
feel
that.
seen by their parents, wanting to feel seen by the person they're in a relationship with, wanting to feel like they don't have to hide parts of themselves from people, which I totally understand. And that could be difficult if you're trying to be like, I want you to see me, and you're not taking me seriously.
Or if you've only been dating women.
That's what it
Right.
sounds like.
And
the
that's what I mean
girlfriend's doing.
by the confusion, like where, oh my
Sure.
gosh, we had no idea you were bisexual. You've only dated
Yeah,
women
yeah.
that we've known.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The girlfriend's not taking him seriously, and that's probably the root here.
And that,
Sure, and it's, you know, I don't know. Tina and I had this chat yesterday because we have, you know, some people in our lives that are, you know, some of our best friends are trans and all over the spectrum. But I will say that sometimes I see we've moved into an era where it can be tricky when you're bisexual and you're in a hetero relationship to be worried that, and this is a different thing, that you're kind of co-opting or appropriating a movement. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't present gay, you don't present homosexual. So when you go out to dinner, people don't look at you like they look at same-sex couples. You don't really have to experience the same amount of bigotry. And that's not fair to people who still identify that way. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Okay.
I've heard people like say that, like, well, you know, you don't present that way because you're in a hetero relationship at this time. You're dating a man or woman and you're male, or you're dating a woman and you were dating a man and you're female. But at the same time, it is a wide swath and a wide spectrum. And I will say, we can end on this. I look, you know, there's a St. Louis Queer and Support Helpline, and the number is 314-380-7774. And I would bet that they have plenty of resources to help you navigate through coming out and being taken seriously. So good luck with that.
The Rizzuto Show. We get deep.
We do get deep.
All right, let's wrap it up in just a second. Holy smokes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Donnie. Legitimately sorry. Ran a little bit overboard, but that's okay. That's okay. We had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys had fun.
Yeah, I had a blast.
The clip of the day, make sure you check it out. It's brought to you by Michael's Flooring. All of our socials at RIZZ Show. The Team Riz member of the day today, brought to you by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Book your fantasy football draft party this season at Hot Shots. Visit hotshotsnet.com/fantasy, just like Stephanie Covey from Florissant, Missouri. And she gets a song selection, and I have to find it. So talk amongst
Here,
yourselves.
I'm going to tell you all about it.
Wait,
I'm going to
you
be
want
on
the title
vacation from the rest of the week.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys have a good time holding it down. What is the title today?
The title, Lern, Moon that trucker.
That's exactly right. I'm going to be mooning truckers all the way to Innsbruck with my fam.
Oh, yeah.
And
Buns out.
Buns out,
Buns
suns
out, buns out.
That's right. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next Monday.
Cool. Rafe, you got anything else?
Nah, call
7.
I don't remember the number. Forget it. Call the 832. I don't remember. It's something. Call the hotline for the number 2 show and leave me a message. We got a 24-hour hotline now.
That's awesome.
Sweet.
Right on.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
See you tomorrow.
Toots.